Erika Ishii's gone. She may never be coming back. It's all over. Hi, welcome to Gather Your Party. Tonight is Gather Your Clues. I'm Taliesin Jaffe with probably about 70% of the energy that would normally be here because really Erika Ishii is just a battery of energy that keeps us awake, alive, and enthusiastic. So instead, I decided it was time to embrace our kind of low-key, chill energy and just sort of mourn the body of our enthusiasm as it sits in the chalk line of our expectations. Hi, chat. Welcome to Gather Your Party. Welcome to the group of sleuths that I've gathered for the evening.
Hello.
Starting on my right, Chris, introduce yourself to the
Hi, I'm
internet.
Christopher Bevins.
Right there.
Over here. I'm looking around.
Yeah, you guys are over there. Never mind.
Hi,
Here to
I'm
help.
Christopher Bevins. Christopher Bevins. I'm a voice director and actor, and I hang out with this guy whenever I'm able, so that's why I'm here. And it's a mystery.
It is again. It's the Taliesin figures out way to like actually spend time with people show.
How do we get to hang out together? It's a
that's
mystery.
so
It's a mystery. It's Gather Your Mystery.
Over here.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Rachel Robinson. I'm not a voice director, but I'm a voice actor and an ADR script adapter and a complete nerd. And I'm so excited to get out of the house and sit at the table with my friends. And yeah, we're gonna play some games.
We're gonna do some stuff.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
some stuff.
We're gonna
get weird and
weird accents.
But always. But also, yeah, we're it's gonna be chill too.
It's gonna be
so.
chill.
Oh, is it me?
It is you.
Oh, hi guys.
You're right-
Oh,
you're right
where do I
there.
look?
You're right
Here? There?
Yeah.
You
Oh.
can tell we do this all
Oh.
the time.
Hi guys. Yeah, I'm super. Yeah, I'm great at this. My name is Erika Lindbeck, and I'm a voice actor, and I'm here, and I'm excited, and it's Friday. I'm here with my pal
I'm
Tal.
excited she's here
Ah.
too. Oh, you got it in.
Sorry.
Worst. You're the
love
You
worst.
you.
did it.
She's gonna be the next to die.
Oh, hi, I'm Danny Carr, and if you're I'm just, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm Danny Carr, I'm the host of Critical Recap. I work here at Geek and Sundry as the production coordinator, and I'm also the segment producer for Talks Machina, and I also do a little bit of voice acting, though sadly nothing that you know. Actually, you do know because you're watching Geek and Sundry right now, and I do lots of voice acting for the channel.
You're
so,
kind of like the main voices for Geek and Sundry at this point.
yeah, I am. Me and Matt Key. If it's a lady and it's not obviously Marisha, it's me. And if it's a dude, it's probably Matt Key.
Probably not Geek at this point. Oh man. And welcome to Gather Your Clues. Tonight we are celebrating mystery, murder, and mayhem of all kinds. I'm a big fan of whodunits and mysteries and anything that requires you to think about what you're doing. Chris Bevins and I weirdly bonded over Nero Wolf.
Oh my gosh, Nero Wolf, the old, and to me more like, it's so bad, like I don't think I've actually ever read any of the books all the way through. I've only,
Get out.
I know, I'm horrible, but I love the old 90s TV series with Timothy Hutton
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Maury Chaykin.
Maury.
Rest in peace. And so many amazing people were in that, like James Tolkien, and Carrie Fisher was in an episode.
Whoa.
And,
Carrie
Bill
Fisher was in an
Snitcher did.
episode?
Like it was a two-parter. It was one of the best ones ever.
Oh God, I gotta
I think she
dig that up.
co-wrote it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to
It's out of
watch
print.
it on
Sorry, you
my-
guys can't find it legally
It
anywhere.
was like on like AMC or something.
AMC or A&E
yeah,
or one of
we
those.
used to-
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was A&E. We used to watch it at my house too. My dad was a huge Nero Wolf fan. Archie Goodwin was his favorite literary character, and
my
and
outfit
so-
is kind of my Archie tribute.
yeah, you do look very Archie, especially with like the sweater vest and the coat as well. It's very on point.
Very nasty.
Exactly.
Something occurred to me too. As we'll be celebrating like Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew, and Trixie Belden, and obviously, Murder by Death is my favorite, murder mystery movie. Which Clue kind of, I feel like Clue was
I feel Clue elevated the form, like Murder by Death set it down. I recently rewatched it and it is not aged well.
It really has.
It really hasn't.
Murder by Death.
Yeah, it has not aged well.
It doesn't hold
But
up as well.
Clue has held on somehow.
I still love
Murder
Clue.
by Death is now a little bit more.
Oh, it's
offensive
way
than it
more,
was.
yeah.
But you know what? I just realized 4 years ago now almost, we hung out with a Hardy Boy.
Oh my God, we
What?
totally did. We met a Hardy
Parker
Boy.
Stevenson, dude.
We
And
met,
I almost forgot about that.
we met Parker Stevenson at a convention.
yeah.
It was
And he's
awesome. We hung
super
out with him.
nice.
Super
Like,
cool.
he wasn't sleuthing anything that we knew of that
You're
weekend.
spoiling.
I have tried to write mystery stories over and over again, and I've always failed to figure out how to make this work and how to actually.
I always blow the mystery like halfway through. So.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite either writer or fictional character. I mean, I know.
It's tricky. It's hard.
If I speak with a mid-Atlantic accent, I'm in.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like Dorothy Parker should have solved crimes.
No kidding.
I know. It's the,
You don't know she didn't.
she may have actually. I would watch a movie about Dorothy Parker like solving like some sort of
See,
like
that's our
werewolf
hook.
murder mystery.
go.
That's our hook. We're in. We're done.
Spent the entire time talking like this for everything she
she
did.
was
And just
also
being
verbally
really
humiliate
snappy.
anybody that she was
maybe.
talking to as well.
Oh God. God, do I have a favorite? I'm trying to think. I have a few.
Jessica Fletcher.
I am a Nancy Drew fan.
Someone dies.
I used
Wherever
to
that
play
bitch
the
goes.
Nancy Drew CD-ROM games.
Oh, I remember that.
They were
thing.
hard. I had the Hound of the Baskervilles, and then I had one that took place in a snow castle, like not a snow castle, like a ski lodge.
Okay.
Snow
A
castle.
snow castle.
No, I'm
No,
not getting a snow
I'm
castle
going with
from
snow
you.
castle.
But it did. I remember actually
Snow
solved that
Castle
mystery.
Queen, bring me some cocoa.
No.
Snow Castle. He's my maid. I make him wear a maid outfit.
Lord.
Are you sure this was a game or was
Yes.
this?
No, it
So
was
was this something that happened to you?
No, oh, I wish.
Yeah,
Oh my
very
goodness.
I
specific.
made it in my snow castle. This is what you get for Talon, friend.
My pal Tal.
My pal Tal. Oh Lord.
Oh,
The
boy.
Telltale Heart.
Oh boy.
By
keeps
the
going.
turn of the Tal.
Okay, so somebody in chat was using Tal, and now this is apparently a thing.
Hashtag
You've
my
done
pal
this to me.
Tal.
Dorothy Parker and the Vicious Circle, is that a real? Oh,
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
What?
Great.
It's not
Thank
great,
you, chat.
but-
Oh, I'll dive into. I'll watch
So,
anything.
The cast is amazing, so it's worth watching.
I'll watch anything with Dorothy Parker in it.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
As Dorothy Parker, right? Yeah.
This is. We were just. I was pulling out some old Nancy Drew,
This cover is just
and this
divine.
cover is amazing. And I just wanted to like have a moment to
That's
just
like
show
the
this off.
original like '60s one.
Oh,
too.
look, actually,
But
I haven't
there's
even.
a
Yeah.
robot.
There's a robot.
There's a damn robot.
It
I
is.
didn't even see the robot.
Destroy.
Oh my god.
It is Nancy Drew.
I feel
in
like
the
that's
Crooked
an actual
Banister, and
beep
there's.
bop boop robot.
It looks like the pusher and shover robots that push people down the stairs from the 90s.
No, it looks like the robot from Saturday Night Live, the one that will crush you with its evil giant claws, because they had to get robot
That brings back
insurance.
memories.
Looks like that.
The Crooked Banister.
The water's on fire, Nancy exclaimed.
Thank you.
That can't be water.
That's yes. That is actually
Gasoline.
Oh, for God's
I'm
sake.
so excited.
Oh my
Yeah, there's actually.
What's the printing? When was this?
I was
printed?
just looking that up before I got distracted by fire
My
water.
fire water.
This is not too old of a printing. It's the 86 printing,
Okay.
but this was a 71 book. So
Whoa.
Really?
That's
She
interesting
missed the
because they
60s. I
did,
would've
like-
totally thought,
because they did, like,
6 or 7.
Reprintings and other Nancy Drew books that were set in like the 90s. So I'm kind of surprised that in '86 they were reprinting them with covers like that.
it's so amazing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just
I
spectacular.
love the
Fascinating.
cover.
Okay, all right, we're gonna.
And of course,
Let's do
she's got her
this.
magnifying glass.
Oh, always.
You can't not have the magnifying
Do we
glass.
want to go? Do we want to go for an explanation of the Crooked Banister?
Do you mean to read it?
Who should take a
I'll
stab
do
at
it.
this? You gonna take a stab?
The Crooked Banister by Carolyn Keene. A Nancy Drew mystery story
Oh yeah, just.
thing. I was just trying to.
Oh, you're setting. I'm so sorry. I'm not. I don't want to.
Tal! I swear, we always go through this.
Jesus Christ!
This is what I say. Talks too much, Tal.
You're not my real Erica.
I call you.
You are not the real Erica.
Oh! For the folks at
Oh my
home, if
God.
you're watching this,
Your mom's new Erica. I'm not.
every time that Erica says "Tal," you have to take a drink.
Oh.
Nice.
Can I take a drink too?
Can I also?
Yes.
Can I take a drink too? Also, this book sold for $2.50. It looks like.
Oh.
The Crooked Banister. Worth more than our friendship. Nancy and her friends, Bess and George, spend an exciting week exploring a mysterious zigzag house. What is that?
What's a zigzag?
With its fantastically crooked staircase, its bizarre serpent picture, and an unpredictable robot that nearly causes the young detective to
Oh, wait,
lose
wait.
her life.
This is the
Don't
worst.
ask questions. You guys, I'm not making this up.
Sounds like they're in
No, no, no. At first I was like, they just ruined everything.
They're at
in the
Universal
first fucking
Studios.
paragraph.
But there's a lot more. But despite the threat of danger from the robot, Nancy is determined to solve the mystery of the weird house and to locate the missing owner, who is wanted by the police.
Police.
It takes keen logic and quick thinking for the young detective to plow through the tangled thicket of clues and find the key to this complex puzzle. With the help of her friends, Nancy captures an elusive swindler and uncovers the secret of the crooked banister.
Spoilers.
But not before they have several hair-raising adventures.
Several.
One on a broken bridge over flaming water.
I told you the water's on
Another.
fire.
Another.
Water's on fire.
I'm almost done. My goodness
I'm
gracious.
done. Bless you.
Just half a
Flaming
sentence.
water. Another in a hidden room with poisoned portraits.
What does that even mean?
It means you don't lick the painting.
Yeah,
For the
no.
love of
You
God.
don't kiss the people.
The portraits weren't poisoned. There was just lead in the paint.
No,
and they
it's
decided
just
to
just
lick
everyone
them.
licked it.
Why are
That's the crooked banister by Karen
There's,
Tate.
there's actually famously there is the poison wallpaper is a real thing. Somebody must have a link to this. There was a wallpaper that was actually infused with chemicals that were toxic if you handled it too much. I think they found some at the Winchester House, but it is like
course.
it is an actual. There was a wallpaper that was printed that was poison wallpaper. That was the thing.
What-
You can
So
Google
is it
poison
like-
wallpaper.
So is it like
Not right now, please.
seeping through? Like what? How is that effective?
I've
Are they
been
like
reading
breathing?
too much
Are they just like
Ravencraft.
shoving
tell
their
us, Tal.
faces
Is
into
it
this
effective?
wall and?
I don't think it was. I mean,
Would you just sort of touch it, and then if you touch it, and then all of a sudden your skin would start to
like-
slowly
like
peel off,
slowly.
and your hair would fall out, and you would just die a very slow thing.
slow painful.
And then you start yelling, "The water's on fire!"
water's
but there's
on fire.
no water anywhere, and it's just you don't.
And
exactly.
people are like, "Oh, this poor crazy child.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got the vapors.
She's got the vapors."
Someone get me my smelling salts.
It's
Oh my
because she's
God.
been working too much.
Take me to the fainting couch.
Bring it back to the kitchen.
This is literally
Tal,
literally
Tal.
what brunch with me is like.
Bring
is
me my
this,
whiskey.
Is this?
This is
Tal.
really hanging out with voice actors.
Tal, I
is
can't
like-
see you, Tal. I'm blind now because I licked the lead paint. Oh, do you want me to read this one?
No, it's a. Ah.
Fine.
Well, I
no.
figured we would like share it around, but this
Fine,
one is
whatever.
this one is the mystery of the glowing eye.
Cute.
Warning.
Smacking.
I'm-
Cyclops.
Also known as pink eye.
It says.
It actually says warning
Wash
cyclops.
your
Warning
hands,
cyclops.
kids.
I was going to say she's not doing the one thing I will say she's not doing the little curious mystery fingers.
Though she is still
Mystery-
looking off to the
I'm sorry,
side.
what are mystery fingers?
These are oh, no this I'm so sorry. Yeah, dude, mystery fingers.
Oh.
Like what is always happening whenever over to the left? She's always looking off that way.
Well, I mean, there
She's
always
trying to
have
ignore
be
the painter.
strange noises, right? Like
you-
something scratching through
Do you
the
know
walls.
those? I always laugh when I see those movie posters. You know, when I'm driving around LA and the traffic's terrible, so I have a long time to look at them.
So,
Those
like,
movie
all the
posters,
time.
And
I find them
everyone's
funny
looking
myself.
in a different like everyone, like one person's like
It's like a terrible
and the other
family
person's like-
portrait, right?
Yeah, they
Nobody
just
looks at the same place.
it's
at the
seriously
same
nobody.
time.
I think there was one for the Fast and the Furious that I think I took a picture of it and I laughed at it just for like 10 minutes.
Everyone's just
Because they
very
were all-
distracted.
I know. I think I'm always distracted. But
Welcome to
Oh,
I
man.
think there were like two people looking in one direction, one person looking over it to the right, one up, one down, one all around.
One looking behind for
This is, a
some
much,
reason.
this is a much less exciting premise, I gotta say. It's a
Oh,
little less
no.
inventive. But
No robots?
do you want to give a roll at this one? No robots, and they're instead of fire water, it's just a mysterious explosion throws Nancy
Oh,
against the wall.
boo.
That's
I
not
know.
I want fire
That's
water.
like season 2 Sherlock at that point.
Ugh.
Bring me my fire water.
I want a polar bear that doesn't belong there, like Lost. You
Yeah.
Know, like,
That was even like episode 3 or something.
Is that the polar bear?
Lost.
Oh my god.
That was early.
when Nancy Drew eagerly agrees to help her lawyer father solve the mystery of the glowing eye, she has no way of knowing that it would involve the kidnapping of her close friend, Ned Nickerson.
Oh, her
Ned
boyfriend.
Nickerson.
A puzzling note in Ned's handwriting sets Nancy and her friends, Bess and George, on a hazardous search for a bizarre criminal. Are there any other kind?
Thank you.
From their base of operations, the the Emerson College campus, bar. No, the three girl detectives and Ned's college pals follow a maze of clues to locate the kidnapper's hideout and rescue Ned. Not only is Nancy greatly worried about Ned, but also she is alarmed by the high-handed methods of a woman lawyer.
Not
Who
a
tries
woman
to
liar.
take
Not a
the case
woman.
It's a real horror story. Oh my
A
god.
woman in the
I mean,
workplace.
what decade is this?
What does she wear?
86.
Every reader will thrill to Nancy's exciting adventures as she unravels this dangerous web of mystery.
I was about to say we do have the mystery of the gender normative
that's
normative dentist in here, but we'll get to that.
Oh my god.
We were kind of poking through a few of these earlier, and we found we were like a couple of them were like We were definitely like this. We found a couple.
Encyclopedia Brown is not woke.
Yeah, there's not woke. Encyclopedia not woke
Wait a
Brown.
minute. When was Encyclopedia Brown on HBO?
Oh my God!
How
So,
did I mean, I probably knew. and
oh, you
forgot.
must have
Okay.
known this every kid.
I mean, I've
I
been
was a kid watching
HBO
this.
Oh my God. Okay,
I don't think I had HBO when I was
Encyclopedia
a-
Brown had a very short-lived.
We'll get to the dentist.
Oh, we'll
Chat's
definitely.
like the
we'll
dentist.
definitely
Oh,
get to
we're
the
gonna get to the
dentist.
dentist. It's intense.
It's so good. Okay, so first full disclosure, as a child, I was obsessed with Encyclopedia Brown.
I have another one
like
here
he
somewhere.
was just, I loved him.
Oh, that's the hard one.
No, I think you
the
left
one
the
you had.
cookbook on my desk.
Oh shit! Never mind. Okay, carry on.
So in the 80s, early 90s, Encyclopedia Brown had a very short-lived HBO show where he and his detective partner Sally Kimball ran a detective agency, and they adapted some of the stories that were the books and all that. They
It was
adapted
live
them
action?
into it was
Yeah.
live action.
It was
I
really
think-
good.
I mean, I
Never seen
vaguely
this.
remember it, but
It
I
was
think I just
amazing.
So the pilot was all about a time capsule underneath the statue
Yeah.
of the town founder with a
like a bronze or gold rose or
yeah, there
something
was a whole
inside of
with
it.
a missing time capsule
Yeah.
from the town. And there was that one kid that was always the red herring who was never actually.
That was Bugs Meany.
Yeah, Bugs Meany, who was.
his name was
Of course
Bugs
his name was
Meany.
Bugs.
His name was Bugs Meany. Is the best part.
What was the cartoon with the kid whose actual name was Red Herring?
That was a pup named Scooby Doo.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Whoa.
Wow, you are scary.
Bring it.
You
Bring
were
it.
on my zombie apocalypse
So-
team, woman.
I hope that it's random, useless trivia about detectives.
Earlier today, I saw a text thread that was the most terrifying thing. Yeah.
So my family, I have three older siblings, and my mom and dad. My dad is unfortunately passed, but we all grew up with being obsessed with detective stories. My dad was obsessed with Nero Wolfe. My mom just loved every single detective movie, especially The Thin Man. So we were just inundated with these stories. We even like did actual murder mysteries like when we were kids, and my parents would host dinner parties where their friends would come in and be characters, and they had to solve a mystery. And for my 13th birthday party, I threw one. My sister threw them all the time. And then we went on vacation in Florida and threw one there. Like we were intense. And so
Sometimes outdoors.
yeah. So anyway, but we love detective stories, and so I found out I was going to be on Gather Your Party, and I texted my siblings and my mom, and it was just like, which ones are y'all's favorites? And I got a bazillion answers. So we just had this really long text thread for hours talking about all of our favorite stories, all of our inspirations that we've drawn over the years from these detective novels and these shows, these movies and things like that. So they've been a huge part of my life.
It was a big text thread.
It was long and detailed.
You know, I know you mentioned that we bonded over the Nero Wolfe stuff. But there's another detective show that you got me into.
Which
Pretty hardcore.
Which show?
Veronica Mars.
Oh
Still
man,
one of my favorite.
I've been working on this.
Favorite
I've been
mystery
like
shows
I've been
ever.
like doing work for this show all week, and I totally forgot about
How did I
Veronica
forget
Mars.
Veronica Mars? Oh my gosh.
God, Veronica Mars. Oh, so
We were just watching The Good Place last night too. So
oh yeah, no. So
Kristen Bell and
I'm
Fresh
trying
and
not to,
Alive.
for those of you who don't know, but it's impossible to avoid. There's a whole chunk, and I was trying to think of like the various different types of murder mystery books and stories that exist, and the Chandler books are a very a specific kind of theme, which is the trench coat, hem hat, just dirty work, murders, and,
Your
and
gumshoe.
Gumshoe,
Femme
noir,
fatale with
yeah.
legs
Right.
for days.
yeah,
I don't know why I went
noir,
that
like.
accent.
Yeah.
Like the classic noir and very Los Angeles, and like in a very
That's
like
why I kinda
That's
love
what
historical Los
Columbo.
Angeles.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I know I'm very
was
Columbo.
Very
Yeah.
cheeky
Just
also.
one
Just
more.
Just one more question. I would want to ask. One more. But
Wow.
yeah, no, I can do it.
You just
I'm
Peter
well aware.
Falked
I can
like
Peter Falk.
crazy.
I can Peter
Because-
Falk very well.
Because we brought up Columbo, my brother wanted to make it very clear that he made an absolutely amazing Columboner joke in our text thread that he wanted to make sure that I mentioned.
Can you share
It was something about, I wish I could remember it
no.
off the top of my head. It was something about
he was always a fan of Columboner, but he never thought it was quite long enough, or something like that. So you're welcome, Joey.
Columbo. There was one about. Yeah, never mind. That's it. There was another terrible joke in there somewhere. Oh, but yeah, the LA Noir vibe then was they turned it into a teen drama basically for Veronica Mars, which is a really fascinating way to like get. It was very Chandler. It was a lot of murder. It was a lot of sex scandals. Everybody was awful, which is kind of the and anybody who delves into noir, like anything that like any good noir story is just everybody's terrible. There's very little daylight, and
seedy underbelly.
Seedy underbelly.
This posh high school in Southern California.
And not all noir is detective, and not all detective is noir, but they share a nice, thick, wonderful cross section.
Venn diagram.
One of my favorite comedies, noir comedies, of course, which is not quite a detective noir comedy, but up there, is a
Big Lebowski?
The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
I knew you knew I was going there.
Because if you didn't, I would.
Yeah.
They have done a few
It is
murder
a secret
mysteries.
noir, I
It
love
started
it.
with Blood Simple,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course, well, I guess with
Miller's
the next
Crossing.
one, Miller's Crossing. Wow.
They're a fan.
Barton Fink has shades of it.
Barton Fink has a little bit.
Fargo, of course.
Someone just mentioned Dick
Midwest North.
Tracy. Oh, thank you, Tom
Oh,
Servo
yeah.
544.
LA
Ooh.
Confidential.
I'm feeling
What a
like
gorgeous
LA
candy-colored film, and
Confidential, too, yeah.
utterly
Oh.
hyperbolically ridiculous.
And it's a good comic to read too. It's
Yeah.
a good Dick Tracy is a good. Although he's not very mysterious. He's a little more gumshoey.
So here's a random
Big yellow
one.
coat.
Do y'all remember Bugsy Malone?
Oh
That
my
one
God!
just
It was
popped
one of
in my
it's
head.
one of like my top 10 favorite movies. Alan Parker.
I'm like, I read an Agatha
Oh, like the
Christie
kids
book
one.
once.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh
I was
my
gonna
God, I
say,
don't
we-
belong here.
Gangster film with 10-year-olds. The
Yes!
first thing Jodie Foster ever did
Yes!
after Tom Sawyer.
Oh my God, yes!
I wanted to.
I have
I'm
no
so
idea what
glad
you're talking
you went
about
with
right
me
now.
on that. I'm
I'm
so
right
glad
with
you
you.
went with me on that.
We gotta talk later.
Oh,
Oh.
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
talk about Bugsy Malone.
Inevitably, there's someone in chat right now who's like, I've got them all on DVD. Scott Baio. Immediately, Scott Baio pops up.
I love you, chat.
Cheers. Thank you, chat, for Scott Baio.
Blousy, blousy.
Oh, so good.
Somebody mentioned The Spirit. Hopefully, the comic, not the horrible movie.
Oh.
It's somebody's
my
favorite. I just breathe deep and
Yeah.
remind myself. I've never met this person, but somewhere there's somebody who The Spirit is their favorite film.
Or I watched a bunch
Oh.
of the David Suchet Poirot stuff back in the day.
There's a bunch of it on Amazon.
Love Harriet the Spy.
Harriet
Harriet the
I
Spy.
just bought another copy for myself of The Long Secret, which is the sequel to that.
What? There's a sequel?
Yes.
I
it's
didn't
amazing.
even know that.
I bought it just because there
Good
was a
work,
word in
Sharp
it
Eagle.
that I couldn't remember, and I'm like, this is the beauty of the internet, and I just like pulled up Amazon, and I was like, I want this book, and I had it in 2 days, and it was like, yeah.
Have you read it yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I read
God,
it
is it
like
good?
a million years
Not
ago. It's
Home
great.
Alone.
I
Oh
mean,
dear God, thank you.
I wasn't
Always
going
do.
to
Malone's not a
mention.
detective story.
Detective
I was gonna
Conan?
mention Detective
Disagree.
Conan.
Detective Conan is a perfectly
Totally, yeah.
reasonable.
Or as I know it, case closed.
Case closed.
As I worked on it, case closed.
Oh, you Texans.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
I'm not
they're
a
coming in
Texan.
so fast. It's hard to catch them all.
Oh yeah, no. So this is like,
Of course, why didn't I see it before?
Peter Wimsey, I remember.
That little kid, man, solved some mysteries.
I was actually about to say, like, it was one of the last things. There's a lot. It was not quite the last thing I did in Texas, but it was,
You worked on a little bit of Conan, didn't you? Yeah.
No, I worked on. Oh God, what's the one with Black Butler?
Oh, yeah.
There was a
Is
Black.
that a
Oh
detective?
right.
No, but they had
He's
an
a
episode.
butler.
There's a movie. Of,
He's
there's
a butler.
There's a
Think
back.
Snowcastle. or
Which means he
whatever.
did it.
He did it. The Butler did do it in but they did a murder mystery with Arthur Conan Doyle as a character, and I played Arthur Conan
Anime
Doyle.
Arthur Conan
I
Doyle.
played anime Arthur Conan
wanna
Doyle.
watch-
I had to learn to do
never
the accent and
seen
everything.
this.
It's really.
I
it's-
played anime Sherlock Holmes.
Right here.
His anime created your anime.
I haven't played any cool anime detectives.
Not
I'm
a-
a failure.
It's just like a whole
We'll
genre
get
that you
there.
haven't
We'll get
broken
there
into.
one day.
I have my lovely copy of A Study in Scarlet.
That's a really pretty copy.
Thank you.
Actually, you're the one who got me into the Cumberbatch show.
Oh man, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
I mean,
Sherlock.
that
Which
was
is-
because I was not super into like the Basil Rathbone stuff. But
No, and I've attempted to make people watch some of the Basil Rathbone stuff,
it's
and
worth it. It's all worth watching at least a little bit. And it's not for everybody.
there's some people I can get to watch it, and some people I cannot. And there is a Sherlock. If you're a fan of Sherlock and want to find something else to ingest, there is the most interesting and strange Sherlock Holmes film, I think, that's ever been made, and it's more charming than anyone gives it credit
Young
for.
Sherlock? Young Sherlock
The
Holmes?
Adventures of Young Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
Oh, we're gonna have a movie night.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Young
Is
Sherlock.
that the one with Nicky Rowe?
with the evil pastries and the Egyptian cult.
And Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Oh.
Okay, so in that text thread that I told you about, the one thing that I said, I was like, absolutely, I will mention young Sherlock Holmes. And I said,
I thought it was
because
great.
I'm classy.
I'm
I
pretty
love
sure-
young Sherlock
when
Holmes.
I was a-
remember the guy who hold it up and gives him nice, very nice, Egyptian.
I'm pretty sure when
That's
I was a
what I
kid,
remember.
yeah, that when I think I had a birthday party where we did like a double feature of young Sherlock Holmes and what was that horrible, like the spoof with Michael Caine.
Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
Caine.
This is-
Michael
Are we-
Caine.
are we doing Michael Caine now?
Michael Caine.
Michael.
He was in a,
Michael
he was in a
Caine.
really
Mike-
great
Michael
show
Caine.
called
It was
Michael
And
Caine.
it was a
Michael
Michael
Caine.
Caine.
of Sherlock and Watson, and they didn't get along very well. And I can't remember who else was
Well,
in
there
it, but
was
yeah, it
there
like-
was there was
I know
of,
what you're talking about, and I
of,
can't
of
remember.
like
Yes,
of
it was 80s
off-brand
movie.
off-brand Sherlocks. There was the Adventure of Sherlock Holmes' smarter younger brother.
Younger,
which-
smarter brother.
Younger,
Somebody
smarter
Somebody
brother.
can
Yeah.
Help
solve
us,
the oracle
Internet.
and tell us.
See, you got chat to do it.
Without
Now
a
I hope
clue.
you're proud
That's
of
the one.
yourself.
Without a
so
clue.
proud.
Boom.
Yes.
Me too.
Without a clue.
Oh, without a clue.
That's
Oh
what
my
it is.
God, without a
Yeah.
clue.
Michael Caine.
Thank
Without
you,
a clue.
Nerdstrom.
Also, I
Solid
like
Michael
the
Caine.
it's the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes's.
I actually did enjoy the Guy Ritchie.
I
Sherlock
really
Holmes.
did.
I
I
liked
thought
the
it
first
was
It was
one.
beautifully shot.
I
Yeah.
I
don't know
liked
if I
the
saw the
first
second
one. I didn't.
I
I watched
saw
about
both.
half
It
the
just
second
was, it
one.
was
I
a little
didn't
too
like it.
tough.
I like the little.
I mean, I don't
I
mind
thought
it.
it gave me a new perspective.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, he definitely has that signature style.
Well, and
And I don't mind it. I don't mind a little Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that was exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm into anything that
it's
gets me to stare
it's a
at.
genre I
gets
call
me
now
stare at those
kiss.
two.
Now kiss. Ah! It is a genre that we have now. And there was, of course, our modern version of Sherlock Holmes, which is House MD.
Oh
I
yes.
fucking love that show.
That is, yeah, we can
That's
say
right.
we can say love.
I can curse.
You can
To
curse.
Shader Aki, Wishbone, yes.
What's Wishbone?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what? You don't know Wishbone? Wishbone
Like the dog?
Townsend. The dog.
I never saw. I guess
Oh, I
I'm
used
too
to
old
watch
for that.
Wishbone.
Yes,
I used to
Wishbone.
watch Wishbone
Feeding
all
it,
the
but yeah.
time. I forget the theme song of it. Right.
What's
I
the
used-
story, Wishbone?
Oh my
Something like
God.
that.
What?
Y'all,
Okay.
Wishbone.
Okay,
They know it.
thank you.
Wishbone
Thank you.
Townsend.
Do
Wishbone.
not take her side, Miss Sunflower. She's not your friend. She's acting like your friend.
Okay.
She's not your friend.
Wishbone was.
Wishbone was awesome.
Wishbone wasn't always a detective, but
No.
he did do lots of detective
Didn't
stories.
he go back in
because-
time sometimes?
Yes.
I think he wore a Sherlock Holmes
Yeah,
outfit
because he did Sherlock Holmes. He did the Hound of the Baskervilles.
That's-
I feel bad
Okay,
about
so
myself.
Wishbone was a PBS show about a
Yes.
Jack Russell Terrier
Yes.
who read books. And he loved to tell the stories of these books. And so his owner named David would have these
can't
like
believe you remember the
problems.
name.
I have a weird memory.
This is true. I can back this up. This
I
is
do
very
too,
true.
but apparently nothing like
Extremely
that.
No.
weird memory. So his owner David was in high school and he would have these problems and Wishbone was always like, I read the exact classic literature novel
Yes.
that will help David with his
Yes.
problem. And so he would go through and he'd find like Romeo and Juliet or The Hound of the Baskervilles or A
Yeah.
Tale of Two Cities or something like that. And he would tell you the story of The Hound of the Baskervilles or Tale of Two Cities, and the dog would play the main character. Because they would do
That is so
reenactments.
So
That's
is
amazing.
so
it was the best thing in the
was this
entire world.
animated?
No.
No.
And someone
It
did
was
the
an
voice of the
actual
Jack Russell.
Jack
I wonder
Russell
who did the voice of the
Terrier.
Jack Russell Terrier.
Jack Russell running around in a little like Sherlock.
In a
Holmes
little Sherlock
outfit.
So
outfit.
they just had a
I think it's
pardon my language, a fucking terrier in a costume.
Yes, it was incredible. How dare.
I'm so excited
How
by
dare you insult the memory of Wishbone this way?
Wishbone was the best.
Now we have to go dig that up, obviously.
We're having a movie marathon, Tal.
I'm into it.
Yes.
I'm into it.
Mine might not be as frou-frou as yours.
You know
But
what?
Wishbone's great.
I support Wishbone.
I'm so excited for Wishbone the Terrier. This is.
I love Wishbone.
Alright,
I mean,
so
I love those old
just
70s
I'm
movies.
just
that-
gonna-
Oh my God! No! No! No!
I was thinking about
Wishbone!
Wishbone. I was thinking water.
Tell us
and then
it's
I watched people
Wishbone!
talk
No!
about it.
Townsend, you see it's Wishbone.
Okay, there's Nipper the RCA dog, so of course I'm glad that shit. I mean, he's got the little like.
No!
And
Townsend
amazing.
thinks he knows everything, and he doesn't.
He also doesn't know who directed Lethal Weapon.
That's true. I don't. I was confused.
Oh my god.
Wait, which picture did you pull up?
I pulled up the exact one I was just talking about.
It's Wishbone.
It's okay.
My
My
favorite one
my
was the
skull
one-
exploded. Too.
So for those of you, wondering,
I remember
Liz
this
just
is
showed
from,
me a
like, the
picture of
opening of
Wishbone,
it.
Yeah.
and it's.
Do you see that? I zoomed in so you can see Wishbone better.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no.
cute.
That is a dog wearing clothing. That is a dog that has resigned
Somebody
himself
just
to be
mentioned
dressed
the
like a
Bloodhound
person.
Gang.
Oh goodness.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Which?
Did you guys ever
The
watch
Bloodhound
3, 2, 1
Gang.
Contact?
Oh yeah.
Remember that? And there was the Bloodhound Gang.
We're older than you guys.
Got
This is the old
nothing.
side of the table.
We're like Wishbone, yes.
So yes, so a generation or so before Wishbone was our generation where we watched
Yeah.
a show called 3-2-1 Contact.
There was
It
a
was like-
magazine too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like Sesame Street and then Electric Company
And then 3-2-1
Contact. It was like for this
with
slightly
a
older kids.
brief sidestep into Reading Rainbow.
Right. There was it
Yeah.
was more science and stuff like that. But yeah, one of those features on 3-2-1
hate
Contact
science.
was a group of kids. Yeah, who were the Bloodhound Gang, and they solved mysteries.
The Bloodhound Gang, like the band.
And it was like, and their mystery solving was very Encyclopedia Brownish in
It
its
was.
in its the types of mysteries and how they solved
Actually-
them.
And when they
types of
figured
stuff
things
like
out,
that.
everybody went like this, and this is how everybody talked the whole time, except when they had to be really quiet. Everything was a stage whisper.
It was one of the 3-2-1
Right.
Contact was one of the shows that I watch in my like research for how to make weird shows for this channel. So I went back and watched the
Nice.
3-2-1
I
Contact.
might have to dig some of that
It
up. I remember the
holds
song
up.
too.
Oh,
That's great.
Contact is yeah.
You know what? When I
You're
heard
making
the
fun of
theme song
Wishbone.
to Kim
Yeah,
Schmidt,
sounds-
it reminded me of the theme song
Contact.
from.
Oh, it's very similar to the previous one.
Whatever.
It was
Wishbone
very
sounds
70s,
better.
80s. Oh, don't get me wrong. It was very 70s,
and I'll
80s.
also say that like if we're talking like weird television moments, I will say with this, I've never actually sat at this table before, so we use this table for other shows, and I had to borrow it. I feel like I'm having my own little QI right now. I feel like I'm having there's a little bit of QI happening right here. just 'cause I have
Stephen
the
Fry
friend.
would be a nice.
I would
addition
love.
to this,
I would
too.
like to think of myself as America, the internet Stephen Fry,
give you
even though I'm really not.
My anime Sherlock Holmes was based on Stephen Fry.
Mm.
Actually. Basically, just the whole way to the studio, I just listened to Stephen Fry talking.
He's got a great voice.
He's got a
Like,
really
it's his podcast on language.
Everything, yeah. He's got a
Language.
great English
Yes.
accent. If you ever want
It is.
an English
It's
accent,
like
it's
the Britishest
it's like-
Brit that ever Britished. It's just
Play Little Big
yeah.
Planet.
And he was,
Wow.
he's the voice of Little
Yeah.
Big Planet, and he was apparently like a really terrible teenager, which makes me so happy that he was just like
Really?
like juvenile delinquent up the wazoo.
That makes my heart
Oh yeah,
happy.
he was a problem.
Nice.
But yeah, I was mentioning Sherlock also because Sherlock's one of the early detective characters and was like created sort of a form that became very popular of the.
The first real detective?
I think it was the first real. I think it was, and like there was a yeah. Feel free to look that up. But there was
'Cause
definitely
my sister texted me lots of facts about the first detective stories.
yeah, because even
you
like
crazy.
the notion of police is even not really that old. Like even the notion of having a police force is like some sort of it was a British invention, I believe, and it was a
Scotland Yard.
yeah. And it was the very notion of having people whose job it was to solve crimes is only maybe 200 years old tops, I think, at this point. I might be, I noticed that number gets longer the longer I live. So it was like 150,
hundreds of years.
180, yeah, 100, almost 200 years.
Dupin was the first detective in literature. The Moonstone was the first novel, and Sherlock Holmes is the most famous. So thank you, Jeannie, for your college class on detectives.
Good.
But he definitely, it was interesting because the character changed over the novels very much. So it became it was originally very, very cold, and then slowly became very, very warm, and
Right.
eventually raised bees, like you do. And I don't know how much you know about Arthur Conan Doyle, who's a fascinating character of he got very. Here's the interesting thing: is they got talkie films just before he died. They actually developed the technology to record picture and voice. And so there's a couple people, like we have a little bit of footage of Mark Twain before he went, and we have a little bit of footage of Arthur Conan Doyle, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and he, considering everything that this man had done with his life and everything that he did, he had this one moment of immortality where he was going to be filmed. And he decided that what he would speak upon was his most favorite subject and the thing that was most dear to him, which was the search for life after death and the existence of ghosts.
That's right. He was crazy superstitious.
He went really hardcore into
Apparently-
Ouija boards and
Like Harry Houdini was like one of his really good friends, and spent like so much.
I want to
of
be
their
on that road trip. To
that's a movie I watched.
Spent like most of their friendship trying to convince him that magic wasn't real, that it was all illusions, and like to the point where Arthur Conan Doyle just finally decided that Harry Houdini was just subconsciously magical and didn't realize what he was doing.
Oh yeah.
Like it was a thing.
If you want to hear an old man having a conversations about the existence of fairies and supernatural spirits.
That's right, he was obsessed with fairies.
Oh yes, the existence of which I have been documenting for quite some time.
Moral of the story: don't do drugs.
The moral of the story is, boy, if that has
don't
been
do
a
drugs.
this has been a
Choose
week
your
of
drugs
Geek and Sundry.
wisely.
Yeah.
This
Heroin,
has been the Geek and Sundry
laudanum
week of
somewhere
Don't
in
Do
there.
Drums.
Opiates.
Opiates,
Yeah.
not
A little laudanum now and then, is treasured by the wisest man. So I thought that was just it was a fun thing. I'm coming up with all these fun things that I want to send people out to, and we haven't even gotten to Agatha Christie or any of that
Oh
yet.
gosh,
man.
yeah. She's a character.
She
Agatha
is.
Christie is.
Someone
is a
in
character.
chat a minute ago asked if Who Framed Roger Rabbit is L.A. Noir, and absolutely.
Yes,
Oh,
actually,
one of the
Oh,
best.
yeah.
not only is it LA Noir, but connecting that also with Chinatown, which it has a lot in common with.
LA Confidential.
LA
One
Confidential,
of my
yeah.
favorites.
Yes.
There's a fascinating interconnection there because I mean they always find these wonderful chunks of LA history to delve on, and where Chinatown takes the creation of the criminally unsafe Mulholland Dam, which is a sad story that I would almost don't recommend. Chinatown is a lot to watch if you're really in the mood to hurt yourself. It's a beautiful movie, but oof.
Yeah. You need
you
to
don't feel
have
good at
nothing
the
to
end.
do for the next day or so.
No, it is.
Cry.
Yeah, you just cry and rock a lot after that one. But it is the story of a criminally unsafe dam, and I love that the Mulholland Memorial Fountain that they have in over in the park actually looks like a dam breaking, and I think that might have been intentional.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, and then the story in Roger Rabbit is a true one too.
Yeah, about
About the tunes?
the yes.
Well,
about the segregation of tunes. No, it's not. It's not about.
I was like, please tell me that this happened.
no,
What lie have I been living?
the dismantling of the red car and the
Yeah.
creation of the freeway system in Los Angeles
yeah.
was actually
It was pretty scandalous.
It was a big
Yeah.
big thing that happened was the city privatized our public transportation, which was the red car system, which was
It's why LA has shitty public transport.
It's because
still.
they sold it off and then it was bought by I mean, it's more complicated than this, but I'm summing it up, and I'm sure someone will be like, yeah,
There's too much.
chat exists so well, everybody,
Actually.
and that's okay. We don't blame you for it. But yeah, the auto industry basically bought up the LA's public transportation system, dismantled it, poured cement on it, and turned it to the 110 freeway. Yeah. And so that's kind of part of the story of Roger Rabbit was
Didn't that red car go from downtown to Santa Monica?
oh yeah,
Go
it was
all the way to the beach.
it was Pasadena
Pasadena
to Santa Monica in under half an hour, I
How
believe.
nice would that be? That's
Didn't know any
impossible
of
now.
this.
Oh yeah, there's only one operating red car left, and it is in California Adventures in Disneyland.
The Nice Guys. Oh my gosh, that's it.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Nice.
Current
Yeah,
LA
I
Noir.
still need to see
So
that.
good.
It's
so
high
good.
Oh my god, that's a movie that's been on my to
Shane
watch
Black.
for ages, and I have been desperately
Alright,
needing it.
it is
It is peak
high
Shane
grade.
Black.
gotta delve,
It is
lady.
peak Shane
Yeah, I
Black.
know.
Yeah.
That's good.
I wanna watch it so bad.
I
Make
always
me like
anytime
Russell
I have
Crowe again.
anytime I have a group
Yeah.
like this, I
That'd be
like
exciting.
having one person just
I
ask
long for
obvious
that.
questions.
They were
that
good
we would
pair.
forget.
Him and
So
that
this
Ryan
is-
Gosling, he's got
And you
chops.
knew
He's
Prince
going
William.
I
places.
do love Ryan Gosling just because every time I think of Ryan Gosling, I think of feminist Ryan Gosling, which just makes me happy.
Hey, girl.
Is that a meme I missed?
Yeah.
You don't know feminist Ryan Gosling?
Girl.
Towel.
This
They all-
is-
they all start out with girl.
Girl.
Hey girl.
Hey, girl.
And it always has some
It's like, I see you're studying for your exam. Keep going. Like
You're doing
good for
great.
you. You're doing great.
I think it's really sexy and how you
Yeah.
make sure to use your sewing scissors instead of these other random shears or something like that.
Is this the thing they try to make me do in like that? Okay, no,
Oh,
never mind.
probably.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling has been the subject of many memes, but by far my favorite is feminist Ryan Gosling.
I was not aware that there was an industry for Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Well, you also didn't know about Wishbone.
I did.
That's very true.
This is so deep. This goes super deep.
We've talked about LA Confidential a little
Little
bit, which
bit.
also does touch on Red Car Freeway.
Yeah, a little
type
bit of the
thing.
Red Car
And-
Freeway
and you know, sex scandals in newspapers and dirty all that.
and the
My,
creation of
that,
UA.
that, that
and-
movie, LA Confidential, is amazing. My brother is a filmmaker, and he credits LA Confidential with being the movie that made him want to do film.
Dead men don't wear plaid.
Whoa.
Like the house that what's her neck lived in, Kim Basinger,
Yeah.
was down the street from my old condo. I used to be like, wait a minute, I know. Oh, that's when
The
you know,
windows!
My-
somebody got punched out there.
Yeah.
The
Dead Men
the
Don't Wear
other.
Plaid is amazing.
Oh yes. The other great thing about that film that made me so happy was it takes place. A whole chunk of that film takes place in and I'm blanking on the name of the neighborhood. It's going to come to me. A chunk of downtown Los Angeles that no longer exists. And I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was a whole neighborhood that they basically raised and poured cement on top of and turned into the modern downtown Los Angeles. There
So
is
there's like an
nothing left.
Atlantis down there.
They actually, they find little chunks of it when they're building the subways out here. They find random little chunks of basically the old neighborhood.
But is
that-
it like masonry? Is it actual architecture? What?
bits that just
Yes, centuries
sunk.
old, and mole people down there too.
Lizard people. We have lizard people in Los Angeles.
That's
Do you
true.
think- Do you?
I'm
Is that real?
sure of that.
You should watch Taliesin's.
She doesn't watch my
I'm just
internet
saying,
stuff.
I'm just saying you should watch Taliesin's one shot, two shot, double shot, where he ran Critical Role because they meet the lizard people.
Yeah,
in
and we met
Los Angeles.
the lizard people underneath Los
But that would
Angeles.
also be really weird if I watched all of your internet stuff.
I assume you do.
You just assume?
I just assume that's all you do when you're not here is
Yeah,
watch me.
I watch your internet. Oh
Yeah.
God, and I wait
Watch-
for you
I
to
watch
tweet.
I watch your internet stuff.
That's weird.
It is weird.
That's weird.
This is literally what we're like when, this is. Oh.
It's just a day.
All you have to do is like substitute a plate of eggs and some toast and some coffee.
Yeah.
And basically switch it out for brunch.
So, and we brought a few other things to show off, and there is a place where some of this is going, I swear. And we may end up playing a game at some point. But this will be, I know this is just too much fun.
That one, I remember seeing that in my school library.
This was a big one for me. I was a big fan of this series, the Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators series.
Never seen any of these. Yeah.
The Mystery of the Green Ghost is very good. When is this from? Look at this beautiful interior.
Oh
Like,
wow,
this is
that
just,
is really great.
somebody's got to
like
clean
you.
the camera.
It's
Where-
you there. Tell
It
us.
is. It does. I do cut that.
I'm
silhouette, don't I?
such a fan of these like weird, creepy book cover paintings. I love
No,
all
they're
of those.
beautiful,
Yeah.
and they're This is 1965. Yeah, with including. God, can I do a shot? Does anybody do an Alfred Hitchcock, or I can attempt one.
Well,
Do
you
it.
kind of have to sit
I was-
back in your throat.
I do not want to alarm anyone,
One did- one-
but I feel it is my duty to warn you that in the pages ahead you will meet, as the title of the book suggests, a green ghost. In addition to the ghost, you will encounter some strange pearls and a little dog who plays no part in the story because he does nothing at all.
Not like Wishbone.
Or does he play the part?
Wishbone does everything.
Sometimes doing nothing is as important as doing something. It will be
Okay.
worth thinking about. I could tell you of many other strange episodes, exciting adventures, and suspenseful situations that you will be encountering, but I feel sure you would rather read about these for yourself. So I will content myself by introducing, as I promised them I would, the three investigators. Yeah, that was my attempt.
That's real? That's what he actually wrote.
That
That's
is
crazy.
It is so. I'm like, he wrote like several pages, but like it is so Alfred Hitchcock to overwrite with and double negative himself.
Also, that was a great Hitchcock for you to
Thank
just
you.
pull out of
It's-
nowhere.
I was trying to remember because he opens all the Alfred
Yeah.
Hitchcock's presents. So I was trying to remember the really dull cadence. To
Yes,
everything.
but yes, and
It was
also
jowly.
he just sort of let his jowls.
Very
Yeah,
jowly.
his mouth didn't move much.
No.
It was very.
I don't think he was a big fan of talking.
He wasn't a very big fan of moving.
No.
No, clearly.
As little as to be done as possible.
Can I take us out for 2 seconds?
Bring
Do you
it.
think The Burbs counts as a murder mystery?
Ooh, wow.
The Burbs. What's
I
Oh,
would say I don't know.
The Burbs is home of one of the greatest voice actors who ever lived. Brother Theodore.
How unfortunate for Naps. Sorry. I love
I can do.
Yeah, I can't get down.
I can. Where's Brother Theodore?
Oh.
I'm
Why
trying
don't
to
you
remember.
ask him yourself?
I'm the bride at every funeral, the corpse at every wedding. I look in the mirror, and I want to cry. The phone does not ring, no mail comes, the party is over.
Brother Theodore. Oh, sorry, you tangented so beautifully.
Dude, I'm sorry, but I had to. I had to know if it fit.
I don't know. So okay, the Burbs. I wonder if it holds up because I own it. Oh man,
It's great.
It holds up in some ways on it. And Carrie Fisher, God bless her.
Carrie
so
Fisher's in
pretty.
it?
Yeah, she's right.
She's the
Right.
Oh yeah. So this is one of those weird '80s films.
It's one of the last.
Late 80s, early 90s.
It's one of the last true comedies Tom Hanks ever did.
Yeah. And it was like a weird family, like Addams Family style. Weird family moves in next door, and like the suburbanites kind of think that they're evil and
Bruce
doing.
Dern is like super nosy neighbor.
Yeah,
He
it's the
has
one
to
who's
know
like
what's
they're
happening.
killing people and like
Yeah.
eating puppies or something.
To be fair, they're really creepy.
They are really creepy.
They're really creepy.
Brother Theodore was a famous comedian that you should look up.
Oh, and Henry Gibson plays.
Got Henry Gibson, yeah.
So like all kinds of wonderful people in this weird film.
Brother
Classic
Theodore
Henry.
was also the voice
Classic
of
Henry.
Gollum in the original animated Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, my precious.
He was
It was no bubble voice. It was just.
No, everything.
and like he's who I think I'm gonna look like when I'm 75.
Everything is.
And he invented a style of stand-up in New York called stand-up tragedy.
Oh.
That sounds great.
It is. It's amazing. And he had a church that he started for himself called quadrupedalism, which was the theory of his church, of his cult, was that people were supposed to crawl on all fours.
That
We were
is
supposed to
actually
stand.
horrifying.
boy.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
It
horrifying.
says, well, why don't you crawl on all fours? What is wrong with you?
Because
Oh,
it's
boy.
scary.
Ah,
That
it's
sounds
just-
terrifying.
Yeah,
That
and
actually
he was a very regular guest on the
very deep
David
love.
Letterman show. He was very funny. And right before he died, he recorded this amazing piece, which you can find on the internet.
Because you can find everything.
Which was which is this weird little paranoid poem. It says, when I die, I would like my head to be replaced with a stalk of broccoli. And like he's like a month away from death, and he's just it is the artist in me.
That is not.
He's
ours.
amazing. He's
I'm just
amazing.
gonna Go ahead. And
Oh,
pull
like
that.
after the show is over, it's just gonna be 2 straight hours of Brother Theodore that I'm gonna subject everybody at this table to. But yeah, the Burbs. I don't know. I mean, like, there's no detective.
Yeah.
No.
It is noir, I think.
They're
maybe.
self-appointed detective. Well, it's
I guess.
comedy noir. Is that a
It's
genre?
definitely
Yeah,
a
I mean, like-
it's definitely a mystery.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Like, are they? But like, the mystery is like it's almost reverse. Is there a mystery or is there not?
Yeah.
Or is it
It's
just a
more,
bunch
is
of
this,
crazy
is this guy just
people
going slowly crazy?
being nosy?
Helsing is
Yeah.
all well. It's cheating because it's vampires because it's all at night.
What?
Does it end at the daylight? I was trying to remember if Helsing ends
I
when
don't
the
know.
daylight
I don't know
shot.
what the criteria specifically is for
Noir. The criteria of noir is everybody's terrible. It mostly takes place at night and usually ends with a sunrise.
And that's but even that's
That's
not. I mean,
soft.
that's trappings more than it is
overwritten. I definitely overwrote it in English. I couldn't tell you.
Like, often feature like trappings of noir.
There's
Often,
usually
often
a voiceover.
Yeah.
Often a voiceover.
Yeah.
The Speedgrapher is an anime I directed that's very
Yes.
noir.
You told me to watch that.
Speedgrapher's
It's
great.
dark.
Speedgrapher,
It's
yeah.
so dark. It's so dark.
It's rough.
That's
too.
noir.
Yeah, it's very noir. It's very noir.
Yeah, there's usually a lot of family drama. There's like my favorite noir isn't actually isn't a detective noir story. That's The Sweet Smell of Success is my favorite noir film, which is just people being terrible to each other.
Is
Yeah, it
what's
doesn't
that?
have to be detective. Yeah.
What's that other one? Oh my, that other one. Wow, I'm very
that
excited.
one.
No, I'm with
Just
you.
that
The
one.
one, the one that what's? Oh my gosh, you guys!
I know.
It's the movie. It's a
Oh my
thing
God, it was
with
like
the
in
person.
theaters?
Got it.
No, it was
got
no,
it.
it was.
Getting there.
Do you know The Spirit? It's the one that was like that.
The Phantom?
Sin City.
Sin City.
Oh.
That's noir, right?
That's almost like that's like
Hyper. Yeah.
That's like
Hyper
noir to
noir.
like 12. That is super noir.
Okay, thank you. I named
That is
one.
that is the meth of noir.
That's noir.
Let's
Yeah.
ignore the
In
fact
quotes.
that I just mentioned the Billy Zane movie, The Phantom.
Hey, hey,
right on back to that.
Let's
I like the Billy Zane Phantom movie.
That's pulp. That's a totally
That's
different
pulp.
gather
That's
yard.
pulp.
That's pulp, and I am.
We're
We've
just
talked
gonna
about.
skate right on by that.
I will die on that mountain. I'm a big fan of the Billy Zane Billy Zane fan of movie.
Zane.
Billy Zane in a purple leotard fighting
so good.
crime.
It's so good.
Hard pass.
You young
Hard
people
pass.
missed so much.
Yeah,
I'm the
wow.
one talking about
Yeah.
it.
Billy Zane in a purple
I have so
leotard.
much to see in my life.
You do,
Dark
and I'm
Man.
happy to bring. Yeah, we've talked. Well, yeah.
Darkman?
It's noir. I don't know. It's not detective though. It is.
not
No,
noir.
it's
detective,
like
but-
superhero noir.
I actually,
Would
yeah.
Dark City be
Is also-
considered detective?
Yeah, technically it is.
I would say so. I would
When
say
did
so.
I feel like Dark City came up recently too? We were talking about it on the channel at some point. I'm trying. to
Y'all,
remember
yeah,
why.
y'all were. Cause I mean, I talk about Dark City all the
Brick.
time.
I was gonna mention Brick. I was looking at my DVD.
Brick
shelf.
is noir.
Oh my God, Brick is beautiful noir.
Is that
Noir,
with
noir. JGL.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I kind of remember anything. I'm just like, what was this?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph
Yeah.
Gordon-Levitt. I think I saw some.
It's Ryan Johnson. It's one of his first movies. The guy who just directed Last Jedi.
Ah.
But
And he did a great job. I just want to point that out. Last
I
Jedi
agree.
was amazing.
I enjoyed it immensely.
and this is my one little show. And thank you for finding this. This is a noir novella called Blackmailer that my grandfather wrote way back in the way back in the day.
What?
That they
Axelrod?
that they
Axelrod.
just they
I have a-
reprinted
I have a
not that
copy
long
of that
ago.
too, Yeah.
By the author of the 7-Year Itch?
He's
Your
got.
grandpa wrote the 7-Year Itch?
We've had this conversation.
No, we have not.
Can we just talk about?
No, we have not.
No.
No.
Can we just talk
Thomas
about
is
the
from
fact
an
that
old
at the
time
bottom,
showbiz family. Don't
Since
you
we
know?
go back generations, man, there's some weird shit. In my
This is
family.
Hollywood royalty.
It's true.
Well, like, was it,
She was born bad.
Throned, yeah. Or
Is
was it
the
in exile?
tagline.
Yeah.
She was born bad.
Burbank
is
Exile.
The tagline of this book.
The whole family exiled to Burbank, never to be seen again.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is and this they've been doing a whole series of these. And I highly recommend if you're going to go get into some like awful trashy noir.
I have
this is
like
some
30 of these hard
hard
crime
case
books.
crime,
They're
and they sell them at
amazing.
comic book stores.
Yeah, you can usually find. A lot of times find them. It's because partly it's because the line, if it wasn't like founded by, or at least it was very early promoted by Ed Brubaker.
Yes.
So like he and like maybe Greg Rucka also, like they had some early doings with getting this imprint off the ground, and
Really?
That's why there's
Brubaker for sure.
That's why there's an ad for Coward at the back.
Right. So yeah, no, like really good.
Richard Powell.
Yeah, like you just gritty, not quite noir. Yeah.
Wait, what's that movie? Is
It's
that
like
movie?
hard case crime. It really the best way it
Basic
sums it up. It
Instinct?
is. Yeah. It's
That's Basic Instinct is technically, I would say, technically noir, but not
Not a
detective.
detective
Oh,
story.
oops,
no.
yeah, you're
But here, like The Peddler, this by here's a good one. Say It With Bullets by Richard Powell. Bill Wayne's bus tour through the West becomes more than he bargained for when bodies start turning up at every stop. I mean, like it's
No.
it's
not
so
bodies.
it's so
And the whole series
meaty.
of books is either it's a combination of classic paintings that they found from old novels and were able to find the artwork and reproduce them, and brand new paintings done in the style of these old pulp.
So amazing.
pulp
actually,
novels. They're
I-
so
I-
good. Most of them are new, I think.
there was one for Harlan Ellison, one of Harlan Ellison's books. They're so good.
There's some really good stuff, and some really pretty renowned authors in the series
Thank
as
you,
well.
Critter Nation.
There's a Mickey Spillane book in there. There's a Max Allan Collins. There's God, who else has written books? Stephen King wrote a book for Hard Case Crime.
Whoa.
They-
Stephen King?
Yeah, like they asked him, like, "Hey, we've got this new imprint. Will you write a blurb for us to just to put on our books?" And he read a couple of the books. He's like, "I don't want to write a blurb. I want to write a book. Can I write a book?" Like,
Probably
yes,
get
you
it.
can.
He'd probably get it done in like a day and a
Yeah.
half.
So there's-
the man's a machine.
So I've noticed that there's two different types of books when it comes to this, these two different kinds of stories: stories that actually can be solved and stories that can't. And I often I'm always a fan. I'm a fan of a story that I'm not going to get the solution till the last minute, where like there's some piece of information that has been withheld that will make the whole thing come together.
That's how I like my horror movies, actually. I love movies in which I don't know.
Nothing
I
till the
literally
end.
don't know what's going on. I have no clue.
And then there's some where at some point midway you could probably grab onto it, and that's like something Encyclopedia Brown. Where's my other Encyclopedia Brown?
There it is.
My cookbook.
Your cookbook.
I specifically remember Encyclopedia Brown takes the cake, and, and I sort of can't hear the word encyclopedia ever again without thinking Brown.
Thinking Brown, yeah.
And
They've got
Rachel
some-
takes the cake.
They've got some. All of his titles are just great, and they're weirdly. There's something about them, and I can't quite figure out what it is. But here's some other Encyclopedia Brown. The Case of the Secret Pitch. Wait, well here he is. Encyclopedia Brown finds the clues. Encyclopedia Brown gets his man.
Yep.
Encyclopedia Brown keeps the peace. That one's like weirdly anti-hippie, and I was like trying to deal with that. Encyclopedia Brown saves the day. Encyclopedia Brown tracks them down. Encyclopedia Brown shows the way. That one's culty as well.
I'm not sure what the.
Every time the Scholastic, bookmobile came to school.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Oh, that's what I got.
Yes, the
It
Scholastic
was
one
Encyclopedia
there.
Brown and the Garfield books.
Oh man, yes.
I remember those. Oh my god! I remember putting in our orders for new
80s.
books, like
It's
all
my
the new
favorite
Judy
time.
Blume books. That's not mystery.
Sammy
but, I
Judy
mean,
Lees was one that I really grew up with. She was a young girl sleuth
Yeah.
that
Oh.
probably I and maybe like 10 other people remember. But she was one that every time a new book of hers would come out, it was always my Scholastic book for a purchase. And I was very lucky that 2 of my siblings worked at our local bookstore. So it was
Anybody
always
in
getting
chat
books.
remember these? I wonder. Do they still do this? Is this like a
The Scholastic Book Fair? I think
Yeah.
so,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Oh my gosh.
I would do it all
It's my
over
favorite
again.
day.
Oh my god! And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so happy you brought up Harriet the Spy. Too.
Oh, yeah.
My God, she's the best.
liked Harriet
And
the
she's
Spy.
like such a douche too.
Oh yeah, she's the worst.
She's like a terrible person.
She's really awful. Like you
Yeah.
can tell why she has
She's
one
mean
friend.
and she's rude. Like,
Wait.
really
No, okay.
mean.
The older people at the table are going to need some context here. This is not working. Who is this person?
Harriet the Spy.
Okay, I know who Harriet the Spy. I mean,
She's mean.
She's a mean
I don't
spy
know.
girl.
Okay,
What
the
do you
author's
She's
name
mean
is
and antisocial, and she just butts her nose into everybody's business.
Oh yeah, she doesn't look for clues. She demands them.
Yeah.
She browbeats
She, like-
people
she, like,
and
she
bothers them and
legitimately spies
and
on
totally
people,
like
just, like,
goes up all in their
normal-
business and basically does B&E every day.
Yes.
B&E, not B, and not the others.
Breaking and entering.
Not bed and breakfast.
That's right.
The other B&B.
And she just like makes up things.
She's just
about
nasty.
people.
She's
Yeah.
just like
a nasty girl.
She does get her comeuppance,
She
like,
does-
and
she
she does
does.
grow.
It's
So
she's less of an a-hole in
she's
the
less
second
of
book.
she's less of a completely
But
awful
but here's the
person.
thing. But she's a really interesting character
She
too.
is.
That's
She's
the thing. Like child detectives. You'd think a child detective
anti-hero.
probably would be
Anti-hero.
kind of a jerk face.
Yeah,
Bit of a
because
Sherlock
it's
Holmes.
also
Like no, I know more than you. That's the thing. She
Sure.
sees herself as superior to everybody.
It's true.
And everybody
Plus, she's
does.
also
Yeah, I know. Chat. We lost chat for a minute. We're going to try to get chat back. in a second.
plus
Oh,
we
yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's,
plus like she's also a very clear indication of like what just kind of sad, lonely people. Like because she has, I think she like through that. Throughout the entire book, only has like one friend.
Beth Ellen,
Yes.
You only
Who
need
is-
one friend.
Yeah.
Your pal Tal.
who is conversely
I'm the worst.
very she Beth Ellen is
invited
very
me back.
shy and retiring.
Yeah,
and
of course,
sort of is, and like Harriet's always screaming, and Beth is always
That's all
like.
you
But
need.
you got to read the second one because it's
I
pretty.
do. I want to
gratifying.
read the sequel. I didn't
Yeah.
even
Actually,
know
Trouble
about
on
it.
Uncle Luke, aren't most detectives fairly insufferable? Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Well, I feel like
What about Harry
You
Crumb?
kind of have to be at some point.
No.
we're not going. there.
No, take it back. No Harry Crumb, no
Can't
Fletch.
make
There's just things we're not doing this week.
I feel like to be a detective of some kind, yeah, you have to be a little bit narcissistic.
Totally.
You have to be
And
a
you have to be
know-it-all.
pushy.
And you have to be pushy.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was trying
I'm going to
Yeah.
mention 2 charming, wonderful detectives that everybody loves.
Who?
Nick and Nora Charles.
Well, of course. And
Hey.
That's
They
my
dressed to the
style icon
nines.
tonight.
Yeah, no,
is
thank
I was
you.
trying to go very
Thin
Nora
man.
Charles.
They,
Because I love her.
and you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And they lent their names to cocktail glass as well.
There's a Nick and Nora?
A line
Yes.
of
Yeah, so when you
line
a-
of clothing.
When
as
you
well.
asked when you asked online the other day,
I
Thin Man or
Thin Man or,
Nero Wolf, and I'm
Nero
a
Wolf.
huge Nero Wolf fan, but I'm also a huge fan of booze and cocktails. And
So-
the Nick and Nora,
Nick and Nora are
glass
drunk
is-
socialites who
yeah.
solve crimes,
They're
just so
so
people know.
great.
They are
They're so
they are
great.
I want to hang with
alcoholics.
them because I mean,
They're
I feel like maybe
hilarious.
they're better.
all
They're
I
better
ever wanted
detectives
to be.
because they're alcoholics.
It's
That's all
true.
they
Make a good
and
Nora
actually,
Charles, actually.
And actually, my
Oh.
favorite Thin Man movies, because there's like 6 of them. My favorite one is like the second to last one. It's The Thin Man Goes Home.
Thin Man Goes Home.
Is the best one because you get to meet his parents, and they're great.
Okay, so it's Myrna Loy and William Powell,
Yeah.
is that right?
And the dog Asta.
Asta.
The dog
As
Asta
herself.
turned up in an Irene Dunn and Cary Grant movie called The Awful Truth.
You follow the career of a movie dog?
Well, not specifically. He was just like, played by, the dog that was Asta. And then
Oh,
it
Asta.
It was just
okay.
something I found
They
out.
literally gave the dog
But
extra
the
credits.
dog was really freaking smart.
It was a great dog.
And, it
Much
is-
like
and
Wishbone.
that's a screwball comedy about a couple getting divorced. That's a whole other
like
thing.
So
you've
you're
done-
okay with that dog, but when Wishbone comes into play, oh no, I'm Taliesin. I was born in the 1600s. Dogs can't wear outfits.
Dogs can't solve crime.
Dogs can't solve crimes.
Asta was useless. Asta never got anything accomplished.
Asta
Also,
has a lot of
Asta
I'm
was
used
a
to living in a
distraction.
stone
Asta had
castle. What's
puppies.
air conditioning?
Asta is a common answer in
Bring me my
crossword puzzles.
tapestries.
Almost, it's true. They use that in the New York Times crossword puzzle all the time.
Really? I would know at least one answer to a New York Times crossword puzzle
I will say my favorite joke, my favorite dumb dad joke of all time, which it will never be useful, was from the first Thin Pan film. After the Christmas party, when they're reading through the papers, and he's like, it says here, it says shot 4 times. So I read you were shot 5 times in the tabloids. He's like, they didn't hit anywhere near my tabloids.
That's amazing.
Oh.
One of the best, and actually one of my favorite sequences in a movie ever is from, I believe, the first Thin Man, which is whenever they're in their separate and distinct beds, their little twin beds.
They're little twin beds because
And
despite how drunk they get.
And she basically manipulates her husband into making her scrambled eggs at like 2 in the morning. And I'm telling you, it is a master class in just comedy and hilarity. Just find the scrambled eggs scene on YouTube or something from The Thin Man because it's so
The first one.
Yes.
Yeah, Thin Man.
It's so fucking funny because she's just talking about how like how like the person that would love her would be hungry, and she's not hungry, but if you're up then but don't eggs sound nice, honey? Don't eggs sound good? So, and the looks that he gives her, because he's just straight man the entire time, and he's just and he just gets out of his twin bed and he just goes to the kitchen. It's amazing.
In his beautiful pajamas.
And his
it's
beautiful
stunning.
They always the most
like striped pajamas.
gorgeous pajamas. Like
I was
super.
I was trying to remember the Thrilling Adventure Hour friend of the show has a Nick and Nora Charles character. I'm trying to remember the name of them, and it's driving me nuts. Somebody will remember the name of the socialite detectives.
I was trying to think of some other good comic booky.
There are
detectives,
no
other than the
there
world's
are no-
greatest, of course.
Black Widow.
The world's greatest detective.
Carmen Sandiego.
Batman. Did you really think of Batman?
No,
as a
but
detective?
that's like the trademark world's greatest detective. No, Jessica Jones is
Jessica Jones is the world's greatest.
True, Jessica Jones is the world's greatest detective.
What about
best comic book detective.
Put my foot down.
had it in my head. Murder She Wrote?
We knew we were waiting for it. We were prepared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's just fucking great. No, we were excited by the notion of eventually having to hit Murder She Wrote because
Oh yeah, you have to.
I love old cute grandma detectives is actually a subgenre.
Yeah, Miss Marple.
Miss Marple.
Miss Marple,
Marple.
who was the basis for Murder She Wrote. Although I think Murder She Wrote was actually a little better than a lot of the Miss Marples.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I prefer Miss Marple over Hercule
Levinson's
Poirot
and Lake. Levinson's
personally.
Oh,
But
okay.
I honestly think that I prefer Murder She Wrote over Miss Marple.
Were you?
So-
Which is also technically Murder She Wrote. I might add is like a weird hybrid between Miss Marple and Castle.
Yeah,
Think about that.
I will, and
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But actually,
Now
my-
kiss. Okay.
But my favorite Agatha Christie's were always the ones that weren't centered on a specific detective. Because she had her Miss Marple, she had her Hercule Poirot, but I always liked the ones where it was like a bunch of people in a house or something, and they were just trying to figure out like the murder. Like there's one called
Like
The
Murder on the
Unexpected
Orient
Guest.
Express, like
That's one's a Poirot.
It's a Poirot, but it is a group. But it is a group.
It's
It's
a
Harold
right, that's what I was just
Enhouse.
thinking.
I was about to
That
do
one.
the same thing. I was about
Did
to.
you ever read The
Wait.
Weston Game?
No.
Oh, The Weston. It's kind of like that, but it's like it's a murder mystery, but it's like definitely a whodunit Clue type thing, but yeah.
And like
somebody
and,
did that.
so many
and like
crazy
and then
ones
there
in
were
the
none
chat.
like that one and then there were none as another like
like
everybody
Frida
in a
Kahlo.
house. There's no real center detective because I was never particularly fond of her specific characters, but I liked how she wrote people just interacting.
I gotta
with each
admit,
other.
I love a Scooby Gang. I love it when nobody's the smart asshole.
Yeah.
I love it when you don't have a smart asshole, when it's just like 7 people figuring their shit out.
I joked
that's
that
what I'm talking about.
she and I should have shown up dressed as like Daphne and Shaggy.
Daphne and Shaggy. Well, I mean, like that's the thing that makes Clue the movie so
I need
great.
a Daphne
Oh,
wig
yeah.
for sure.
Is
I
that?
can do a great Velma, so.
Oh my God, I'll just wear like an awful dog collar.
That's what you deserve. at
That
this
is
point.
exactly what
Does
I
that make you
deserve.
Shaggy?
I think that no.
That makes her Freddy.
Oh yeah, did you say Shaggy?
I said Shaggy,
I'm
yes.
sorry. I think you'd be a great.
Gosh,
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, little ascot.
I'm Hey, I'm Freddie. What's up? It's me.
No, I mean, like, no, but like that's why I like Clue is that no one's smart in Clue. There's nobody who's smart.
I
in
could have
Clue.
sworn in the Clue movie, I thought that was Susan Sarandon for my whole life.
Oh,
Leslie
yeah.
Oh
Moore.
yeah, no,
Like-
it threw me too.
I thought that I
They
like got
look
in
exactly
fights
the
with
It's
same.
Tim
people.
Curry's fault. It's Tim Curry's fault because you see Tim Curry in a movie and you see another woman who has a similar build and hair, and you're like immediately it's Susan Sarandon.
No, but she
Sounds
really
like
does
Susan
look
Sarandon.
like
Does.
Susan
She
Sarandon.
looks like
does.
Susan Sarandon. I was like floored when someone was like, "No, Erica."
That was-
I don't go to bat for that stuff unless I really feel like I know.
No, I had the
And I didn't know.
I had the
And I was
exact
very
same.
sad.
I had the exact same as a kid,
Yeah.
but I was also that kid who was like obsessed with reading credits. So I think I only thought that for like the first like 2 times I watched it, and
Okay,
then I like
yeah.
paid attention the next time, and I was like,
Was it before or after Victor Victoria? Because that was she has this little
Oh,
baby
yeah.
voice in Victor Victoria. But I think
God,
it
I
might have
love
been
Victor
right
Victoria.
before. Oh my God, it's so great. That's a whole other thing.
No,
We'll
eventually,
talk about
eventually
with
we
Ken.
are going to we're
We'll
going
have
to
to
run.
touch on some Blake Edwards
There's
soon.
there's
Oh,
going to be a
bring
day
us
where we
back
give
for
up and we
Gather Your
finally do
Edwards.
Gather Your Dragon. It will just be a beautiful, beautiful day.
No, I mean tonight. I mean,
Oh,
I think I'm kidding. I'm
Blake
not
We can
Edwards
talk
film
about
or
well.
I thought you said
Make
Gather
Pink
Your Dragon,
Panther type
and I was here for that, but I'm
Somebody
also
did
here
ask
for
me.
Gather,
Your Dragon.
I'm here for both.
Yep. No, we may end up at that point at some point. I have broad plans. No pun intended. No, it's a. I've totally lost my point because of
we're
Dragon.
talking about Clue and
Yeah.
nobody being the smart one.
Flames.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
Flames.
If
I
you
was-
haven't seen Clue, by the way, there are 3 endings. This was like the hook to try and get
That's
people
right.
into theaters was see it 3 times because there's 3 different endings.
Oh, that's.
And it failed horribly.
It did not work.
Yeah, who actually
It
ever
did
saw it
not
in the
work.
theater? I never even got to see it in the theater.
I saw it in
only
theater.
on the-
I saw
yes.
it on the
I only ever
cable.
saw it on video where you get all of them.
I feel like now
85,
granted,
86-ish,
I
yeah.
wasn't around when this movie released, but I
remember
feel
it.
like one of the big problems with it was they didn't properly market the fact that there were 3 endings.
That's true.
So people would go and they would see it, and then they'd find out later. And the problem is that like is only like really 1 or 2 of the endings is really funny.
Yeah, the rest are weird.
Because it's the last one, because that's where you get flames on the side of my face. That's where you get the reveal of who Mr. Body is and all that. I feel like I don't want to spoil this
No.
like
This
25
30-year-old
year old
movie, yeah.
85.
movie.
Thank you. And I
85,
I say this with all sincerity. Thank you, Lucifer. 1985 was the year, and I mean that sincerely.
Oh my
Thank you,
God.
Lucifer, for everything you do.
I was
Yeah, and so if you didn't see the best ending, because I mean like I
I
love
didn't
all
see
the
the best
endings, but
ending.
if you see one of the ones that isn't as good, you leave the theater
Well,
being
some
like,
of them, it's kind of a
that's
downer
fine.
too.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
were saying, like, no, and I like the way they did it. So
was
here's
also
what could have
marketed very
happened,
weirdly.
Yeah.
or this could have happened.
But
here's what
really
really
happened.
happened.
Yes, of
Have
course
you
I
done? You've done the whole triple? Oh yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, because I was.
Well, now when you watch it, like the DVDs or the ones on
Yeah, I
TV
got
or
to
something
see all
like that,
3.
They do all
they
three,
do
yeah,
all
yeah.
3.
Totally. No, it was a
I
great
was-
movie. I loved it.
I was Wadsworth for Halloween one year.
Oh my
We did
gosh.
an entire huge group of us went to a Halloween party that was at a castle. These people like built a house.
Oh,
It
the
was like
castle with
castle
with
house.
with
Yeah.
okay in Texas. There's a castle.
Castle.
with
This is in
with
Texas.
with
There's a bunch of
with
voice
chess
actor
set.
friends, and I we did the like almost the entire cast of Clue. I was Wadsworth. Like yeah, because you can't be just Wadsworth. It's just like I'm
No.
just wearing a tuxedo and
Yeah,
carrying a
That's
key.
lame. You have to be
Yeah, it's lame.
We-
We had everybody. We had a Mr. Body. We had like pretty much all of them. But we even had like the motorist. And,
Oh, wow, y'all went deep.
I
Yeah,
think
so
we
it
had
had to be the
we had an
comic
Yvette.
Oh, you have to have
we
an
didn't have a
event.
cook. We had an Yvette. We had a couple of the the extras. It
We
was
had
awesome.
when in college we all had grand plans to dress up as all the characters from Clue, and everyone was always like, "Danny, you have to be Yvette. You're the only one that can pull it off." and I will allow anybody to figure out why that is. But yeah. I completely feel you on that. I've always wanted to do a full like Clue group.
It's a
costume.
good like
So
it's
fun.
a good group costume.
It
Is the
is.
Clues? The
It's
Clues
so
set.
fun.
Who was it? Was it Martin Mull as Colonel Mustard?
Yes.
God damn.
Eric
And-
Bale was our Colonel Mustard.
Oh wow.
That's great. That makes sense.
All right,
That's
who was-
funny
who
to
was
like
Miss
6
Peacock?
of us.
Miss
Eileen
Peacock
Brennan.
was
Oh,
Miss
I'm
Eileen
sorry.
Brennan. Yeah, no, it was
Yes,
another mutual
I'm
friend of
sorry.
ours who was
Okay.
yeah,
Not a voice actor.
not a voice actor friend, but
That's no fun.
Jenny Markey was Miss Scarlet.
Of course she was.
Oh my gosh.
This is funny to like 6 people right
Yeah,
now. I'm
yeah,
so
right.
glad that there's 6 people going like. Clouseau. Clouseau's a classic. Thank you, 33rd.
I mean, that's Screwball Detective.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Straight up.
Been
I think, what is that? The Pig Panther Strikes Back, I think, is my favorite.
With the Pink Panther
It's
films.
either, yeah.
I don't know if they hold up anymore. I'd be very curious
No,
to
they're
see.
terrible.
Do they just not hold up anymore?
They're terrible. I mean, and sometimes horribly racist.
Okay, so
but,
well, yeah. Here's the thing that we always have to
but
mention is
just-
that
it's
art
just-
is perennial.
It's Peter Sellers. It's a showcase
It is Peter
for Peter
Sellers.
Sellers. So.
Art is perennial, and it much like good food. It is not meant to just be kept on a shelf forever. It eventually does go bad and starts to rot a little bit or a lot. And some of these movies, as good as they were when they came out, are like don't quite hold up. Some do.
yeah.
Clue is still funny.
Yeah.
Clue may be funnier now than it was. I laugh more
Clue
now.
is
Than
still worse.
like Josie and the Josie and the Pussycats went from good to great to fucking amazing.
Yeah,
so, like,
Josie and the Pussycats is still
it's
just
better. It's
phenomenal.
better than it
Yeah,
was now.
it's-
Oh god,
It's so
I'm,
good.
I'm still mad I wasn't able to go to that concert, but you did bring me that vinyl. And
I
love
did bring you a
for it.
vinyl because I love you.
I need
But,
to go.
But no, it's and there was one other big one that I want. Nick Danger. That's right.
Oh
That was the
yeah,
other.
yeah.
McDanger?
The Adventures of Nick. This is something.
Nick
If
Danger.
if you leave tonight, and I hope
This.
always. Clue does hold up. Thank you. We actually got a note from the producer.
Clue
We've
holds
double
up.
checked.
I think
Clue
it
holds
is
up.
a
It's
universally
official.
agreed
Yeah.
opinion.
It holds up so well they're making another one.
It's
Oh,
true with
God.
Deadpool
Ryan Reynolds,
himself.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I'm not okay with it.
I don't know how I feel about
I
it.
don't know how that's
Wait, with Deadpool?
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
As
Ryan
well.
Reynolds.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
As
not okay
Deadpool
with
We
it.
don't know
and
yet.
Clue.
It's such a
I
specific.
wish. That would
Oh,
be.
It's such a
I thought you were serious
specific
for a second.
movie.
And,
Like,
and it's also the dynamics between
Yeah,
that particular
it's that
cast.
cast.
Yeah.
You can't recreate that.
like
They were
there's
incredible.
no way that movie had a script.
No, that movie was a
That
disaster.
movie,
It,
that
it did. I swear to God.
that movie had to have been just make sure that these things get revealed at some point and just go.
I
just
I would
go.
love to make a movie like that. Where they're like, here
Oh,
are the
great.
plot
The
points.
scenario.
Go. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very commedia.
Oh man, that's how. Yeah, there was a time you could make a movie like that. I don't know that. But no, there's a radio play. There's a radio group out here. If you Google a few things tonight, and I always hope that send you off from Gather Your Party with at least 5 things to Google that will brighten your day. Brother Theodore definitely being one of them.
Number one.
Wow, if I can find his The Party's Over rant, I will post it on the internet, but it vanishes from the internet on occasion. There's a group of radio comedians out here called the Firesign Theater who have been doing radio plays
Yes.
forever.
Wait, is that Phil Proctor who's in it? Oh, yes, he posted. Oh, that's we should.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the a vinyl record that they put out many years ago was called "How Can You Be in Two Places at Once When You're Not Anywhere at All," which the B side of was an entire noir detective drama called "The Adventures of Nick Danger, Third Eye."
Okay.
And
yeah.
it is filled with bad radio jokes, the worst, most cheesy, terrible. I mean, like including a friend I made once. I had a friend who showed up to our karaoke bar with a box of Cracker Jacks and a pickle in a paper bag, and I was immediately like, Rocky Rococo. Yeah. She's like, you're the only one who knows. I've got a pickle in a paper bag.
Duh.
Yeah, a series of unbelievably. It's all the great noir tropes, and yeah, it's called the episode of Nick Danger's Third Eyes had him off at the past, and there's like jokes where like women faint, and then like they cut back from commercial, and you just hear, it's just oh, Nikki, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Are you awake? Yes. Oh, okay. Then stop slapping me. Oh, sorry. It's like literally, and they just keep. Oh, it's so bad. Can sit here in the waiting room or wait here in the sitting room. Yeah, a lot of that.
And some of it is you kind of hate yourself for laughing, and yet it's hysterically funny.
Yeah,
so
it's
funny.
and like they break the fourth wall a lot. It's And if you can find it, The Adventures of Nick Danger, Third Eye, you can probably find an official YouTube. I found like 5 and it is a delightful 45 minutes of that. That holds up very well.
Okay.
Yeah, Officer Bradshaw. Yeah, there's a whole series of great characters.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah,
again.
yep. And I'm trying to remember the name. Betty Jo Bielowski. Yeah. Oh, Nancy. Yeah.
Nick Danger in the Case of the Missing Yolks on YouTube.
Well, that may be a different one also. There's an hour-long one. There's several. There's a Christmas special. They made a few. If you can find the original, which is Cut 'Em Off of the Past, Nick Danger, Third Eye, that is the place to start. And every voice actor, I also should say, every voice actor should listen to this because these are some of the finest, some of the best radio voices that have, and they've been doing a radio comedy for decades now. But
Yeah, I didn't realize they were still around.
they are still. They run into them at conventions every now and then. Still going at it, and they still make Firesign Theater stuff every now and then. Crazy. Yeah, there's and oh god, there's more stuff to cover. I don't even know where to go next.
We can read more.
We could. Well, there was talk. Oh,
I mean,
we did
there's
promise
not
a
time
dentist.
for a hot
That's
toilet.
true. Oh, we have to tell you guys about the dentist from this Encyclopedia Brown book.
So the great thing about Encyclopedia Brown stories
Yes.
is that they're short, they're extremely short, and they're solvable.
Yes. You get all the clues.
So you feel very, very smart.
As a child, it
or
is
very, very dumb if you don't already, if you haven't figured it out by the end.
I like also that the
I
first
don't know
one
how to
is him
figure it out.
examining a saber, and my Hardy Boys is the Curse of the Broken Blade is the broken saber.
Nice.
Just juxtaposition.
And they're both blue.
They're both blue. Coincidence?
I think
Yes.
not.
Yes, it's coincidence.
God, no,
entirely.
Damn it.
Oh, I didn't
Sorry.
know where that was going.
So which story was it? Because you found it.
Hang on, I need to go to the table of contents because I don't remember.
That's I'm.
The Case of the Missing Roller Skates, I believe, is the one that it is.
Deep.
You know it is.
If
Yes.
somebody had taken my roller skates in the 70s, I would have been pissed.
Right?
I
This was
mean-
in like the 50s too,
Yeah.
because these books came out. Excuse me, the
No,
60s.
I was about to say these-
1963.
63. I was about to say these are because I remember they're fighting hippies in like book 3.
Yeah.
Fighting hippies?
Oh
keeps the
boy, I
peace?
have a whole.
Well, you know, those hippies and their protests.
There's actually like a whole hippie culty thing in like book 3. That is like there's like a weird there were a lot of these kind of stories, especially in young adult. This is actually one of the things that not to diverge too far before we go here. I was a big fan of the 60s Batman show. Speaking of good detectives, although he's not it's a very iffy if that's a detective show. But one of the things I loved about the 60s Batman show is one of the few pieces of pop culture to kind of attempt to do an episode where it was a bridge where the cops there was an episode where like a bunch of flower children is what they were calling them were being kidnapped, and the cops were like, these kids are on drugs and forget it, who cares? And Batman was like, no, you've got to, sure, they're different and they speak funny, but you've got to respect these kids. They've got some good ideas and good stuff. It was like he was trying to like bring the cops and the hippies together because he's Batman and everybody likes Batman.
Everybody likes Batman.
And it was one of the few points of pop culture that was actually trying to be nice to both sides, which I thought was, he was bringing people. He was Batman and Robin, bringing people together. I was trying to remember who the villain for the flower children.
I hope it was the Penguin. I
It
don't
wasn't
know
the
why.
Penguin. I think it was like one of those ones that
One
never
of the Calculator Man or something.
calculator or like or like the florist,
Clock Man.
fluoride florist, or
The florist.
there was the bookworm.
All
Rodney
of those
McDowell
are
played the
real
bookworm.
Batman.
Ooh,
villains.
that sounds like
They're
a good
probably
one.
not. The bookworm was a real one, and yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite jokes in Lego Batman. Is whenever they run through like
Those
all
were
these
all real.
crazy Batman villains, and every single one of them is a real Batman villain.
They were all real.
It's like a 5-minute segment, and I was losing it in the theater.
They did. God, I'm trying to remember who.
They
did
like
that.
ran through
Did you-
so
I haven't
many
seen the
of
Batman
them.
Lego movie.
It's
I know
weirdly good.
It's
I know,
super
I heard it's
good.
amazing.
It's weirdly good. I don't understand why.
Well, because you feel like it was better than it had a right to be.
It was
Yeah.
so much
It was
better than
like-
it had a right to be.
But I mean, the original Lego movie we saw, I mean, I laughed my ass off.
And then
that was-
sobbed at the end.
Yeah.
Lego Movie like hit me right here.
They have the hot dog villain, right?
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
did the
Condiment Man.
Condiment Man.
Is that real?
Condiment Man is real.
Condiment King.
Condiment King.
Excuse
Thank you.
me, thank you.
I just love that somebody there in chat mentioned Spencer for Hire and his partner Hawk,
What?
aka
Robert Urich.
Is
Avery
Hudson Hawk?
Brooks,
Is Hudson-
aka
No, that's
Captain
a thief
Sisko.
movie.
Yeah, Hudson
Yeah.
Hawk's not a detective.
No, that's a thief. That's a
Great.
heist film.
Spencer
But
for
it's
Hire
heist, yeah.
and Hawk, the spin-off.
What about Remington Steele?
I saw that one
Man,
somewhere.
you're making me
Remington
feel
Steele a while
so-
ago
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I'm the oldest one here. Don't you worry about that.
Remington Steele.
What was the other?
Remington.
Pierce
That
Brosnan.
was Pierce Brosnan long before he was James Bond.
He was just
The
like he was
80s Pierce
basically
Brosnan.
hair. He was just like hair that talked.
Magnum PI, another
Yeah.
great.
And thank you, chat. Yeah, Parker Lewis. Now you're just making me feel old. That's not. That is neither noir, nor is that detective. That is just awesome. And has that is.
Oh, Green Hornet, yeah.
Is that technically?
Yeah, Green Hornet. I like that
Green
chat.
Hornet, Yeah.
That's
good.
Arson Newsom is also is a detective or a thief? That's interesting. I'm gonna put Arson Lupin, the original, not the third.
Right,
the
like
third's the
not
animated
Lupin the
one.
Third, but also the same.
Is still I would still classify that as heist,
Yeah.
Okay.
even though it's sexy and fun.
Heist.
I was
Well,
thinking about James Bond, but I know James Bond's not a
That's
detective.
that's
Spy.
a spy.
Adjacent.
okay,
You know,
okay.
spy,
Is it
spy
okay? At least it's adjacent.
and heist.
Yeah.
Heist.
Caper. They're all
Heist.
mystery adjacent.
He's solving mysteries, but I would never call James Bond a detective. He's
No,
a spy.
it's the
But I feel
James
he
Bond in the case of the
discovers
missing
things
shirt.
accidentally
Yeah, he discovers things
while
with his
sleeping
penis.
with
Naked
every woman.
women.
he can.
Yeah.
Naked women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jinkies. There's a clue.
The clue, I think
Jenkins.
it's
Give,
under your
give me
dress.
3.5 minutes with that clue, and I'll have an answer. And you're
Oh
like,
my God,
Lord.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we
3.5
mentioned
minutes.
Jessica Jones. That is some hard-boiled
Oh
shit.
yeah. Oh, Jessica Jones.
I freaking love that show.
Hard-boiled.
One of my favorite Marvel
Dark.
characters created in the past 20 years. Easy.
Oh god,
Oh.
she's just the best.
Crush on Peter Parker. Just saying. I wish I know.
Oh yeah.
I know you
yeah.
can't do it, but in the
I
comic book.
loved that aspect of her that
in the,
she
in the comic book, Jessica Jones is like much old. Like they because it's not like the weird age differentials that we have in the current Marvel universe. So in the comic book, teenage Jessica Jones had a crush on teenage Peter Parker.
they were in the same class.
They were in the same
Oh.
school,
Yeah.
but he doesn't remember her from school. But she was like literally like writing his name in notebooks and
Yeah.
and he was like, I don't really like I don't. You were Coma Girl.
Yeah.
Why was she
And she's
coma
so
girl?
That's how she
mad.
got her powers. She was in the car accident. her whole family
yeah,
died,
yeah.
and she was in a coma. And she was like, and he was like, I don't remember. You were Coma Girl.
And she's so pissed.
Fuck you.
And then Luke Cage is like you can see like Luke Cage like in this panel like in the background just like dying laughing.
Yeah, he's just losing
it's
his shit.
amazing. It's one of my favorite interactions like in
Yeah,
comic book
is like when she
history.
finds out he's Spider-Man. You're like, you're
and
you're
she's
awful.
Coma Girl.
And
yeah.
she's Coma Girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
What? It was
Bendis writes some good detective fiction. You know.
Yeah.
It's like
well, he
Powers. Oh my gosh, Powers is still. I mean, that's
Cop
detective.
drama.
It's cop drama,
Cop
but
drama.
it's
noir.
Who killed
Torso.
Torso for sure is, but yeah.
Um,
Who killed Retro Girl? First
Okay,
arc of Powers
I'm gonna
is-
give it.
is-
I'm gonna
is
give it
murder
to you.
mystery.
I'm gonna give it to
But
you.
yeah, no, it's
You
procedural.
fought for it.
It's cop procedural.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's inevitable to come back. We're eventually just gonna have you on the Wednesday Club anyway, just to like nerd with us.
That's
I gotta catch up then.
Yeah, you well,
I gotta read.
thankfully
more
we
current.
cheat, and not to
We
let
have
everyone
so
know.
many comic books in the house. It's furniture.
Yeah. Our cheat is that we don't
It
talk
is.
about new books.
There you go.
So that's our. We actually get guests occasionally who are like, I don't know, I'm like 6 months behind. Like it don't matter.
That's okay.
We don't give a fuck. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is great.
Yes.
I'm excited too, because this is just helping me give a list to like give you an excuse to come to my house and turn into a vegetable on my couch.
Yeah.
One of the things, and this was originally when we had plotted this before we go to inside. One of the things we originally plotted to do for this episode before everything went so off the rails.
Are you surprised at all?
No. Well, this was the thing we were like originally we were talking about murder mystery parties. I'm doing this so poorly. Thank you. Of how to host a murder
One
mystery.
hand.
Which
But this
are,
one is a teen
mystery. It's not even a murder mystery. It's a teen mystery. It's how to host a teen
Look
mystery.
at how sassy she looks.
She is. She is.
No.
She's super sassy.
teen
Do
murder.
you know why
That's
she's?
going
Do you
to-
know why
Nobody
she's
wants
sassy? It's
teen
because
murder.
she's from Hollywood High.
That's true.
Because this is from episode number 1. That's
hot
not-
times.
Hot Times at Hollywood High.
Hot time.
Look at this trapper keeper colorization on the corner here.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
like
some
a-
Saved by the
Yeah.
Bell.
My
That's
grandma
some
went to
Saved by the
Hollywood
Bell
Yeah,
right there.
Screech. This is Screech approved.
It's true.
I believe you.
I had a lot of friends who went to Hollywood High.
Same.
I want to see all the drafts of
Planning
that
the
picture
party.
and what her expression looked like and how
Atmosphere,
it
preparing the
metamorphosed.
meal.
This was based off the photo of the girl who's standing in front of the house that's on fire.
Oh my god, yes. These are the
Totally,
exact. So
100%.
I mentioned earlier that my siblings and my parents would throw murder mystery parties. This is what they would use because they still make these. They didn't use, but they would do how to host a murder mystery.
There's a cassette in there.
This is why
Yeah.
we can't play this game.
Oh no, I was gonna make it happen.
This
by
is
the
why
way-
we can't play this
And
game.
it's a
I
guy.
found a Walkman.
Put that
in my
USB drive
dresser.
down.
Anything is possible.
So
Do you have a pencil that
the reason
the
the reason we're not playing this is because it requires 8 players and it lasts hours and hours.
Yeah,
and hours.
it's long. There is
And we
we
just
could
don't have enough drinks
actually
for that
probably
either.
use the scripts if we only read like a few of the characters because there's actual scripts in there.
Oh yeah, so this comes
We
with
could
a.
at least read some
I
of the
actually I
dialogue.
haven't looked at this. It comes with a map of Hollywood High. Now, as somebody who used to
Oh, she
like
did
pal
it.
around with people at Hollywood.
straight up.
Oh god, let's see how close this is to like the actual.
I was gonna say, is that an accurate map?
Well, here's Beverly Hills High
There's John Patrice.
with the Burns Stadium. There is in fact there's a stadium behind Beverly Hills High School that is under that has an oil well beneath it. This is
Yeah,
true.
you can see the derrick.
You can see the
I
oil
can-
well.
I can see it from
and
my
the school
dentist's
uses the
office.
money from the oil to fund the school. The school is Ponzi.
They
bless
they
them.
cover it up with this weird flowered covered thing so it doesn't look so.
Yeah, it's
grotesque.
covered. It's still so ridiculous though.
It's absurd. But
Bel Air Head in Beverly, outside of Beverly Hills. That's it.
nice.
The LaSalle Mansion, Pacific Savings and Loan, Miss Stackhill's house, another football field, Hollywood High.
All right.
So I suppose Hollywood High and Beverly Hills High have a thing going on. That's true. I don't know if it's true anymore, but it was true back then. Our fencing teams hated each other.
80s this was made?
19th Century Weasel Films, which is 20th Century Fox. That's funny.
Wow.
The Strayhound Bus Line.
Oh no! Wow.
The Beach. Our Lady of Madonna Rock Church. That's the Lady Madonna Church is a real thing.
Take de Monet and rum.
Tate DeMonet and Runs film.
Right.
Tape to Money and Friends. That's cute.
Uh-huh.
That's a good pun as well. Is that a pun? I don't know. That's good.
Hardest Rock
Oh, it's our
Cafeteria.
Hardest Rock
Just
Cafeteria.
The character names, like
Oh yeah, the character names are
Oh,
always
man,
the best
this
part.
is-
Duncan Flushwater,
That's probably the
Spence
nerd.
Monet.
That's probably
Spence
the nerd.
Spence de Monet, as in Spence the Money. Yes.
Cameron Cordier.
Cameron Cordier,
Nice.
Tanya Bunzoff.
Tanya Bunzoff.
I mean, I was gonna say Tanya. I'm like, oh wait.
No, Tanya.
Tanya
The
Bunzoff.
cover character is clearly Bernadette Down.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're smart.
See, I'm
But-
there.
Oh yeah, no.
The
these-
one that doesn't fly anymore, Juanita Green Card.
No.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
See?
80s.
Okay.
That's what we were talking
80s.
about. That's what we were talking
I'll actually
about.
I'll actually say that
File Indy does not.
I'm
hold
still
that
a big
category.
fan. Somebody that they had a really good fix for that when they were doing the Fire Sign has a character that they replaced, which is now was it Manila Envelope, which was possibly one of my favorite bad pun jokes in that direction. Wow, yeah,
It's as bad as the
that was
villain
terrible.
in the it was a Lupin movie, Lupin the Third movie.
Mamo?
That it was it? No, it's the cross-dressing trans Nazi woman
Oh yeah, God.
named Hermaphrodite.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, arson.
Does
Oh.
not hold up.
Does not hold up.
Lupin
not
the Third.
hold
Oh,
up.
Japan.
Oh, Japan.
That's what they say. Oh,
Jeepers,
anime.
Mr. Johnson.
But if anyone, we were going to find a cassette player. It was going to happen.
I wish I found a Walkman in my dresser, like way in the back.
Oh,
I
you
don't know
can
if
you can find them in the baby section of Target. I find that almost anything can be found in the baby section of Target.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird, but it's true. Sippy cups are a necessary thing for conventions because otherwise the alcohol spills out of your cup while you're walking around.
Yay!
If you ever see a voice actor with a sippy cup,
I'm usually your handler, Taliesin.
So do people think that Chris Ayers was a raging alcoholic then?
Giant
Think?
sippy cup.
Giant sippy cup.
oh yeah, well no, his sippy cup is.
No, I'm teasing.
Yeah,
It's
no.
always filled with soda.
But Greg, no, Chris Ayers has the soda one. It's Greg has got the little baby one, and that's.
Oh.
That was he's the one who taught me that trick. You kidding? Sorry, Greg, wherever you are right now, probably awake because you're always awake. Yeah, these are. Oh my God. So these are usually fun to run. You can actually, there are people who make these online now, and they make these
Yeah.
wonderful kits.
There's also like the one that we did in Florida was because these have
Hardest
scripts.
Rock Cafeteria.
Because these have scripts, and so there's one that we found online where it just gives you the scenario where it just says like, okay, during this time, if you're this character, you need to make sure that you reveal this piece of information to this person in order for the plot to continue. But beyond that, do whatever you want.
I wish, if I'd been thinking, I would have brought pictures. We did one of these for Matt Mercer's birthday a million years ago.
Yeah. You've told me about that
A
before.
million billion years ago, Matt for his birthday. Matt Mercer, being Matt Mercer, decided that for his birthday he wanted to write and run a Cthulhu-themed murder mystery for his birthday. So he spent his entire birthday running a game for everybody else.
Nerd.
Old habits die hard.
No, I was like, and not playing a game.
Right.
But running
Running it,
and like
yeah.
not just running a game, but like taking over a house, like a big like palatial house, burying evidence in the backyard, setting up lighting effects and like a crazy table that glowed with runes and zombie makeup. I mean, like, fuck's
That's
sake.
so complicated.
That's like this is why like
I
I
barely
want
have the energy to take out the trash.
I know.
This is why I want my mom to come to LA for longer than just a few days because she and Matt Mercer would get along so well because
I
they're
would believe
both
that.
crazy party people. You know my mom.
Yeah, I do.
You met her because they're both the like people who just want, especially my mom, just wants to plan all of the parties and just wants like we in my family we have parties all the time on just like a Wednesday because my mom woke up and wanted to wear a ball gown, and she's like, we're gonna have a party. I'm gonna
like
run to
her
the thrift
already.
store and I'm gonna make this ball gown. Like doesn't even buy one, or will buy one and then be like, it's not crazy enough, and will then add lace and sequins and all kinds of things because it's not enough. And I love her.
I kind of love that though. Like,
She's
it sounds
amazing.
like I have-
She's amazing.
I don't normally dress like nice, you know, I'm a voice actor. So, but I have a lot of really nice dresses that just there has to be a very specific reason. But sometimes I feel like I want to wear this floor-length sequin monster and just see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yes,
want
it
to
does.
go to the market. And
Every year we have a costume party, and for Halloween. And one year she decided, she's a big James Bond fan, she decided that she and my dad were gonna go as Baron Samedi and Solitaire from Live and Let Die.
Wow.
She made a Jane Seymour Solitaire dress out of a scarf she found at Steinmart.
Wow.
Because my
Who
mom
is
is
she?
crazy.
Oh my God.
This
and
is how you ended up here.
amazing.
Oh my god.
Like I need to find pictures of it because it's the coolest thing
Your
ever.
mom sounds like the coolest human.
She's
She
pretty
really
cool.
is.
She's pretty
she
cool.
really is. And like this year she was like, yeah, I'm gonna be Bellatrix Lestrange, but I just don't know if I'll be able to pull it together in time. I was like, Mother, you made an entire outfit out of a scarf. Bellatrix Lestrange is gonna be a walk in the park.
I was about to say
Your mother is a
she's
sartorial
mostly
MacGyver.
like
It's
like
true.
like
She loves MacGyver. by the way.
manic pixie hobo is basically.
Really?
what
you
she's
know what?
doing.
I can sew like a
She is a
tear
hobo that comes in
in
your
some
life and ruins
fabric.
everything.
That's about it. I can sew a button back on. That's
Yeah.
about where my skills
I'm
end.
middly there.
So
She's crazy.
Matt,
and
Matt,
the
made,
best.
Matt made a portrait of himself that
Yes.
currently hangs. Is it here? Or is it has it hanging in their
Oh,
house?
it's
these
currently
days?
hanging in their guest room.
That's right.
And right now I'm there because
bird,
of
yeah.
the bird, and so I am literally like sleeping in the room with his giant portrait
Of like
of him in like this weird
Matt
like
made a
chin
portrait?
music.
he had like a digital. I don't know how
did
he did it.
have it commissioned or he made
He
it
had it.
himself?
I'm not sure.
And he gave it to your mom?
No. Although that would be funny.
No,
He
Give it to
gave
my
one
mom.
to everyone, just everyone.
It's
Here,
it's
here
it's
I
like
am.
it's
You
like
can see me
it's
all
a,
the
it looks
time.
like an oil painting of him with a beard. Like it is like my father started this company in 1645, built it with his bare hands. He did. It is like that. The only problem with it is it's in the worst frame ever because he's a man who does not know how to frame art. I'm working on it.
It's such a specific thing.
It is like you walk in there, you're like you own all this beautiful art, and it is just behind plastic, and I want to murder you some days. It's like, yeah, I got it on the internet. I'm like, no, you take it to a man,
Wrong.
and he puts it in the glass. There's a
Or you even go to the art store and you can buy some
You
decent
buy
ones.
something that has
You can
glass in
just
it and
pop it out and then
yeah,
stick
you
it
just-
back in. Or take it to like
It's called a Target $5 frame, all right?
Target $5, but like it needs
or
some.
Aaron Brothers. Boom.
Even here, I yell at people about the posters that we use here. So like, proper frames. I know they'll break and I know they're expensive, but it's not the point.
No, I'm with you. I
Tallison,
have
your 1600s is showing. My goodness. My goodness.
I have
Oh
a
my
signed
God.
Chuck Jones poster
No,
that
you
needs
gotta-
a proper frame. I get
It needs. There's a what is it? It needs a gallery glass, zero refraction. There are things that are necessary in this life.
No glass. No scratch.
If I have my druthers, and this may be something that I do eventually, and I know he's not watching because I know what he's up to right now, so I can say this to the crowd and no one will tell him. You guys will not tell him that. Yeah, I trust you people. I know this is the one place on the internet where like I trust you people. You're gonna keep this to yourselves. I would love to take that painting out, have somebody like there are people in like. This is like a weird trade that you can find on the coast of California if you go to like those weird beach cities where apparently people live. What do you like Zuma or like what is that like what's the ones that
Malibu?
like Big Sur?
Oh,
Who names a
Monterey.
city Big Sur? Monterey.
Great
Jesus
song
Christ.
called Big Sur.
I know it's just madness. And there are people who will touch up paintings by putting actual paint on paintings to like make it look a little bit more real, like it's not just a print and just
Yeah.
give it a lift and then like have his portrait like given a lift and like made it look like a real thing and maybe a little bit of black light so that every now and then it looks
Don't
funky.
do that because they keep it in their guest bedroom, and I'm the one that's gonna have to always
A little
deal
bit of
with
stuff
that when
the
I
eyes
come
so they
over.
follow you wherever
No,
you go.
I don't approve of this.
We did sneak the painting of him making the dirt face into his bathroom that one time.
That's true. I do know about that.
So yeah, I know that was yeah. That is actually I think they finally took it down, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did know about that. I think that scared the shit out of me at one point in time. Say that as I'm talking about a bathroom, but
good
I'm
place.
pretty sure that I went into their bathroom once and just saw that, and I was just like, oh, of course this is here.
We've tried to make people as uncomfortable as possible in the past.
It's like, why?
Should we?
Why?
Yeah. Should we attempt?
Oh,
should
yes.
We attempt it?
The chat has been asking if they
Yes.
do actually want the dentist story.
So the dentist story, or what do we rename it? The case of the
case of gender norms.
the case of the gender normative dentist. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so Encyclopedia Brown. Please remember this was written in 1963, so be gentle with. And it's also written for like 8-year-olds, and I loved it. Between 9 and 9:30 on Tuesday morning, Sally Kimball's roller skates disappeared from the waiting room in Dr. Vivian Wilson's office. And where was Encyclopedia Brown, boy detective? He was not 10 feet away from the scene of the crime. He was sitting in a chair with his eyes shut and his mouth wide open. In a way, he had an excuse. Dr. Wilson was pulling one of Encyclopedia's teeth. There, said Dr. Wilson.
Wait, his name is Encyclopedia?
His name is Leroy, but everyone calls him Encyclopedia Brown.
That's not an abbreviation. That's a longer name.
Because his name,
It's a longer name than his
his
name.
because his brain is
So-
like an encyclopedia.
But then my mind goes to Jim Croce after that. When
Yeah, I
I know
know.
that I know his name is Leroy,
Here.
and that just doesn't
They-
Leroy
like.
Brown. He's
they
bad.
they
Leroy
talk
Brown.
about it in
Yeah.
the beginning of
Clueless
every
man with
single
a hard time.
Encyclopedia Brown book. They talk about his name.
Yeah.
It's every single one. It starts the exact same way.
Alright.
Mr. and Mrs. Brown had one child. They called him Leroy, and so did his teachers. Everyone else in Idyville called him Encyclopedia. An encyclopedia is a book or a set of books giving information arranged
Reminded me.
alphabetically on all branches of knowledge. And Leroy Brown's head was like an encyclopedia. That's why they call him
You
Encyclopedia
know what?
Brown.
I bet someone in LA would name their kid Encyclopedia.
Probably.
If there was such a thing as an encyclopedia anymore, there
I
would.
know.
He would be
Yeah.
Wikipedia,
Wikipedia,
Brown.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wikipedia Brown. Oh no!
This is
No!
WikiLeaks.
You! It's on the internet now. They're gonna make it.
Wiki Brown.
No!
Wiki Brown.
Don't tell anybody. No Wikipedia Brown. Please, no Wikipedia Brown.
It's too late. It's already
It's
been
too late.
spoken.
God damn
It's
it.
in the world now.
That's right.
God damn it.
Anytime we have more than 5 people watching.
Oh,
Okay, so Dr. Wilson is pulling one of Encyclopedia's teeth.
Hmm.
There, said Dr. Wilson. He said it cheerfully, as if he were handing Encyclopedia an ice cream cone instead of a tooth. Said Encyclopedia. Dr. Wilson said, all right, hop down from the chair. Encyclopedia hopped down and put the tooth in his pocket. He was going to give it to Charlie Stewart, who collected teeth and kept them in a flour cookie
cookie jar.
I collect teeth,
What the
whatever.
fuck is wrong with that dentist?
No. This is Charlie Stewart.
Sorry.
Charlie Stewart.
Charlie Stewart.
Yeah,
collects
She's
teeth.
Rachel. They're different people. There's Encyclopedia.
Dr.
Wikipedia.
Vivian
There's
Wilson.
Dr. Wilson.
I'm
Everyone else has
I'm
normal
lost
names.
in this completely demented world of teeth and
I
encyclopedias.
literally feel like I'm in a dream.
His
I'm
friend, to
seeing
everyone
the
else,
word.
he's Reddit Wilson.
Reddit Wilson.
Contrary as hell. No one enjoys him.
4chan Jones.
Oh,
4chan
no.
Jones!
No one talks to 4chan Jones.
Dang it!
No.
Damn you!
Off the
4chan
rail.
Jones!
Oh, no.
Damn you and your heinous memes!
It is way my fault.
Damn
I really
you.
You did that. I'm blaming
I
you.
apologize.
Oh,
No, I take
no.
responsibility.
4chan Jones!
Oh no.
What else was I supposed to do with that trajectory?
No.
Oh, God.
Encyclopedia hopped down. Oh, wait, no, he already did that. Encyclopedia went into the waiting room. The chair on which he had left Sally's roller skates was empty. He looked behind the chair, he dropped to his knees and looked under the chair. The skates, they're gone, he exclaimed.
Egads.
Exclaimed. Are you sure you brought them with you? Asked Dr. Wilson. I'm sure, answered Encyclopedia. They were broken. I fixed them last night for my partner, Sally Kimball. I was going to take them over to her house on my way home from your office. Dr. Wilson shook his head sadly. I'm afraid you will never get them back.
Whoa!
Debbie Downer.
They're
Never
mine
get them.
now.
Yes, I hear
But-
about the
Then
Theodore.
she turns
I'm
into
afraid
a
you will never get
tentacle
them back.
monster.
Discord Daniel. Thank you, Karen. They're just, it's just full of it right
Pinterest
now.
Said Dr. Hoarder.
Tumblr Sue! Tumblr Sue!
We're gonna need a collection of these later.
Oh my God.
Wikipedia
But Dr.
sounds
Wilson
still
knew
pretty good.
nothing about detective work. Encyclopedia liked the dentist, though he felt that Vivian was a better first name for a woman than a man.
Is Vivian a dude?
Vivian's a
Vivian
dude.
is a dude.
Brown ain't woke. Carry on.
Brown ain't woke.
Hashtag. Hashtag Brown ain't woke.
Hashtag Brown ain't woke. I'll find the skates, said the boy detective. He spoke with certainty, but he felt no such thing. What he felt was the blow to his pride. It hurt worse than his jaw. Imagine a detective being robbed. Imagine. In the corridor outside Dr. Wilson's office, Encyclopedia leaned against the wall. He closed his eyes and did some deep thinking. Dr. Wilson's office
His mind
was...
treehouse.
Yes, his mind treehouse.
So, carry on. Sorry.
Dr. Wilson's office was on the ground floor of the new medical building. The building had 3 floors and 15 offices. All of the offices were used by doctors or dentists. What if the thief had followed him into the building in order to steal the skates? Then the case was closed. I could spend the rest of my life looking through closets, school lockers, and garages all through Idaville, Encyclopedia thought.
He's right.
But suppose the thief
Who the
had
hell wants
simply,
to do that?
had simply come into the building to see a doctor. Suppose, on his way in, he had noticed a boy carrying a pair of roller skates. Well, that was something else. Encyclopedia reasoned further. The thief could be a grown-up, a boy or a girl. He ruled out a grown-up. First, because it was unlikely that a grown-up would steal an old pair of small skates. Second, because a grown-up would be too hard to catch. Too many men and women went in and out of the medical
have
building
cars.
every hour.
Why would they need skates at that
Right?
point?
I'll have to act on the idea that the thief is a boy or girl, he decided. It's a long chance, but the only one I have. Can we talk about the fact that he refers to grown-ups as like a separate entity, but boys or girls?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
60s, man.
He opened his eyes. The case called for plain, old-fashioned police legwork.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Encyclopedia Jones.
Brown.
Sorry. And so, yep, there we go.
Encyclopedia began on the ground floor. He asked the same question in every office. Were there any boys or girls here to see the doctor this morning? The answer was the same in every office. No. Things looked hopeless, but on the top floor, he finally got a lead. The nurse in room 301 told him a boy named Billy Haggerty had been there this morning to have a sprained wrist treated.
Little
Billy
He
Haggerty.
sounds like a little shit.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia asked in the last 2 offices just to be sure. Neither doctor had treated children that morning. Billy Haggerty became suspect number 1.
Ooh, kill him. Kill him and then ask questions later.
Too far.
That's vigilante,
How
Brown.
far?
You really are Fred Jones. Encyclopedia got Billy Haggerty's
You want the mystery to end too fast.
Also, I really love this sentence. Encyclopedia
Damn it,
got
Billy.
Billy Haggerty's address from the nurse in room 301. They're just hand in out
That
addresses
nurse
of
has
children.
just broken probably federal and
that
state
is
law
so
right there.
illegal.
laws.
That's really not
So
cool.
many laws.
So much for patient.
What
you know,
if there was
doctor
a
privilege.
kid for a doctor? Yeah, sorry. Didn't ask if there were any kid doctors.
No.
Nope.
Doogie Howser over here stealing skates. Okay. He hurried back to Dr. Wilson's office to use the telephone. He called Sally. He told her to meet him in front of the Haggerty's house in half an hour. We may have some rough going ahead of us, he warned. But Billy Haggerty turned out to be only an inch taller than Encyclopedia and shorter than Sally. Sally's his muscle, by the way.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know
She's the brawn.
Encyclopedia
She- yeah,
Brown,
she's-
Sally is
Brown's the
she's
brains
she's
and
the Archie
the
Goodwin.
brawn.
Yeah, she's the Archie Goodwin.
She comes in and does all the rough and tumble.
Yeah, exactly.
She's great.
Oh, I kind of love that.
Oh yeah.
She's
great.
amazing. Encyclopedia drew himself up to his full height. Oh no, Billy drew himself up to his full height.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia's first question. Were you in Dr. Vivian Wilson's office this morning? Nah, snapped Billy. I don't know any Dr. Wilson. You didn't ask anyone about Dr. Wilson? Put in Sally. I never heard of him before you spoke his name, said Billy. Then you went straight to your own doctor on the 3rd floor, said Encyclopedia. Yeah, Dr. Stanton in room 301. What's it to you? Dr. Wilson's office is down the hall from both the stairs and the elevator, said Encyclopedia thoughtfully. You wouldn't pass his office going up or coming down. I don't know where his office is, and I don't care,
Stab
said
him.
Billy.
It's over. Stab him.
I mean, he is a turd.
To be
He
fair,
is
to
a
be fair,
turd.
this is how you solve mysteries. Is you just
true.
stab people until they give you what you
Yes.
Ow, 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 stop, okay?
How do you think I work in this town, Taliesin?
want. I'm well aware of how you work in this town. I
It's
have
none of your-
scars. Carry on.
It's none of your business where I was. We just want to be sure you weren't in Dr. Vivian Wilson's office this morning. That's all, said Sally. Well, I wasn't. I had a sprained wrist, not a toothache. So why should I go near his office? Demanded Billy. I don't like snoopers. What are you after? A pair of roller skates, said Encyclopedia. Do you mind returning them? You've given yourself away. What gave Billy away?
Is it the sprained wrist? No.
Well, I know.
Oh, no, he had a sprained wrist prior. What is it?
It's the fact that if he didn't know this doctor, how do you know Vivian was a man?
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe he was a fan of the young ones where there was a male.
That's
lead.
true. That's the
As I blow the case right back closed.
With the, yeah.
So the cool thing about Encyclopedia Brown books is the fact that they do give you a chance to solve the mystery, and you have to turn to the right page in the back of the book in order to figure it out.
Great.
So we have to turn to page 110.
Incredible.
Billy Haggerty said that he had never heard of Dr. Vivian Wilson and that he didn't know where his office was, but he knew too much about him. He knew that Dr. Vivian Wilson was one, a man, not a woman, and two, a dentist, not a doctor. Because doctors aren't dentists is hilarious.
Not Steve Martin.
When he was tripped by his fibs, Billy returned the roller skates to Sally.
Tripped
Dun, dun,
by
dun,
his
dun.
fist.
So, two interesting, weird little notes about Encyclopedia Brown. First of all, I'll say that my favorite clue, and was one of my favorites I ever caught, was someone who had faked crying, but put the tears at the wrong end of the eye away from the duct. And I was like, that was a good one. I
That's
remember that.
intense.
Wow, I don't
I was
remember
like-
that
That's
one.
adult
Yeah,
stuff.
that was adult stuff. And then two, back in like what was it, Sim City?
Mm-hmm.
There was one of the first accessory packs where they had a whole bunch of fictional towns that you could start with.
Was
And
Idaville one of them?
Idaville was, and Idaville's special thing that you got if you started Idaville was zero crime.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so
That's
happy.
great.
There was no crime setting for it.
I remember also there's some non-kid versions. The same author, what's his name, Sobel?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Donald J. Sobel.
Donald Sobel
oh,
also
bugger, what are they
wrote
called?
2-minute mysteries. They were called, and it was the same thing. Little short novels, but they were not so kid.
Right.
I mean,
they were
as
probably. I don't
kid-friendly.
think he ever actually like has a murder.
They weren't. Yeah, they weren't like adult.
It's all
Boiled
like
egg
petty
spins longer than a
crime.
raw egg.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, that's in this one.
It is absolutely true.
That one's in this one.
Only if Sally is played by Erica.
Erica would be an amazing
Yeah,
Sally.
no.
He would be fantastic.
Thanks.
even more than Barbie. I'm sorry, I have to mock you somehow.
It's
but
okay.
I love you. Yeah, no, it's oh god, everyone's doing all of the jokes already. This is fantastic.
I love Encyclopedia.
Now, Encyclopedia Brown is also. I mean, like I think it also they're still producing them, I believe, or there's at least some of them that are.
Are they really?
in print still, at least. Yeah.
Well, it's the same way that the Nero Wolves I think are still. I'd have to double check. I know that the Nero
There
Wolves
was a
kept going.
new. There's been a couple new series or
That are not
reprints
Rex, yeah.
of the Nero Wolf. Oh, we were saying. Oh yeah, yeah. They're
They
a
kept
handful.
going.
They're a handful, but not too many. Yeah.
I'll also say this one takes the cake. Comes with recipes. I will not speak to the taste of these recipes.
Tastiness of the
But each
recipes.
story also is about food and comes with like what have I
Duck
turned
sauce.
to is riblets.
Chinese riblets.
Chinese
These are
riblets,
very,
duck
these
sauce,
are
and
very
hot
elaborate
Chinese mustard
recipes
sauce.
for a
Egg
10-year-old.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia Brown is
Uh,
actually remember.
But ironically, there's another. I didn't bring it because I didn't. But somewhere at home, I have the
Illustrations.
I know they're so great. The Nero Wolf cookbook.
Oh,
They made one of the things that happens in Nero Wolf is that there's a lot of food in there. If you ever there's a great TV series if you can find it, and there's a lot of cooking of meat in butter.
Yeah, and corn. The
Corn.
best,
the
the
corn
best recipe
episode.
for corn is you can find it in a Nero Wolf episode
and
slash book.
they collected all of the Nero Wolf recipes and then like buttressed them with actual data so that you could actually cook all of the meals. Because he eats poor Liz. I was trying to show Liz Nero Wolf earlier, and I showed her the juniper berry
Nice.
fiasco of like three to five juniper berries, where they can only use 3 juniper berries in the marinade for the lamb, and she's like, no, these are 5. I'm using 5, and it's just this heavy, yelly argument you can find on the internet.
Now, I
Four might be acceptable.
4 might be acceptable. If you have 5, I will have to smell it. I will not have it.
He's just so great. Nero Wolf is just so great. He has
Just smell it.
so Nero Wolf didn't leave his house.
No.
He lived
Shut
in
in.
this. He lived in this brownstone, and he never left until Archie Goodwin was his man about town, and he would.
The second one too. Is it Saul? Sal?
Saul with look
Saul,
was
but
another
this
one.
other guy. Yeah.
And so Archie was who he would and sometimes Saul, he was who he would send off to go get him all of the information. And he never wanted to solve crimes ever. He just wanted to be left alone with his food
And his
his orchids
And his beer.
and his beer. And he was great. But people would always come in. If it was like a woman who was like crying or something, he would be like, all right, fine.
It was yeah. There's been a lot of deconstruction of like whether or not the notion that it was like that he was like that there were homosexual overtones to the books, which I actually kind of like. I think it definitely played those, especially with the living cook and the whole thing. But it doesn't always get played that way either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to play it. Oh, did you print? Bless you. I know we're. Yeah, if Nero Wolf is one that a lot of people haven't read.
He has an amazing quote because every time he sent out Archie Goodwin, he would tell him the best advice that he could give him, which was proceed with intelligence, guided by experience. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we have thanks. I know we have very little time, and we're running out of time. But the powers that be have sent me a lovely list of all of the terrible names for Encyclopedia.
Oh, no.
For our series of Encyclopedia Brown, not only books and characters, but we're going to do a crossover multi-universe series because that's how things work this way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Of characters like Discord Daniel, Twitter McDonald, Facebook Frank, Snapchat Sally.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see who else is. Netflix Ned.
Steam Steve.
Wait, they need
Steve.
to be last names. I
Reddit
like
Ralph.
Bing Banks.
Bing Banks is
Banks.
good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Oh God.
They're literally all bad people
Like
in noir. You know?
Firefox
Yeah.
Malone.
So
They're
Google
all
McDougal.
they're all Dick
It's
Tracy
me.
villains.
I'm
I
going
like
Google
putting all Dick Tracy
Oh,
villains.
we are not happy with Pirate Bay Peters. No, Pirate Bay Peters.
I'm gonna have to say Google McDougal then.
Google McDougal's
Nice.
pretty good.
Google McDougal.
Twitter pipe. There's so many good ones in here. YouTube Robertson, of course, a beer family.
Oh,
of the
YouTube
Robinsons.
Robertson.
Fortune Jones, our Lord and Savior
Pinterest
of
Malone.
Oh
Dank.
no.
Say again?
Pinterest Malone.
Something.
No,
it works.
Malone.
It's the Irish last names too.
Yeah.
Malone,
It's-
Callahan.
They always
maybe.
have. They're always the
Snapchat
best
Sally.
Yeah.
I feel like I know a Snapchat Sally.
I really like.
Sally.
I really like it when they don't try too hard. Like Instagram Andrew.
Instagram Andrews. It fits.
That's what I love.
I mean, his name is Encyclopedia
Yeah,
Brown.
Yeah.
They didn't try very hard either.
Yeah. Exactly.
Instagram Andrews.
I like it when people don't when they're just like, you know what?
No, it's just you hit
Twi-
it.
I like Twitch Twain.
Twitch Twain. Oh wow.
Google Greg
Google Greg.
and Carter Red. Chrome
Carter.
Chrome Clarence.
Okay, are we
Chrome
going with
Clarence.
old browsers now? Like, Opera O'Neil?
Oh, those are the
Right?
parents.
Ooh,
I
Opera
assume.
O'Neil sounds
Opera O'Neil.
great, actually.
Ask Jeeves Anderson.
Netscape Nelson?
Oh,
But-
I was trying to do
GoDaddy
one with
Goth is
AOL, but
pretty
I'm
great.
failing.
GoDaddy Goth.
GoDaddy Goth, yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
I
is
don't
it
actually
that?
want to know
Yeah, what is
GoDaddy
that?
Goth.
No.
I gotta say, like,
Pornhub Stan.
I know, I saw that Pornhub
And I
stand.
can't look at it
and
anymore.
with that, I think we have to bring the evening to a
Yeah.
close.
Yep.
I've got a very weird idea for next week. We're going to see if we can put it together. I'm not going to announce it yet until I get it confirmed from a co-host that will help me put together something really ridiculous.
Don't do a framing class, Taliesin. Don't do a
We're
framing
kind
class.
of going to do. Actually, you're not that far off, which is kind of the amazing thing. And now that's your clue for next week's episode, although not quite.
Develop your own theory.
Develop your own theories. Starting to my
They
right,
will anyway.
tell us who you are, where they can find you on the internet, and what they should check out of yours. If they want to see your stuff.
I'm Chris Bevins, voice of Bevins on Twitter. That's the best place. I haven't worked on anything I can talk about in a while.
No, you're in the because you've
Because I just moved here, so if you
There's
have
like a
voice
2-year
directing
blank.
jobs, please call me.
there's like always that weird middly. But
Yeah.
if they should check out one of your things, what should they check out? Right?
Check out like any of the million things I've done for Funimation over
Princess
the years.
Jellyfish
Princess
or-
Jellyfish,
Oh, yeah.
Michiko and Hachin, any of those. The,
Ichiko, wow.
Space Patrol Lulico is one of the latest. That's freaking hysterical.
Yeah.
You sounded like Owen Wilson when you said wow.
Wow.
Wow. Rachel Robinson, and I just pitched in a few episodes for Kakegurui on Netflix, and it's about compulsive gamblers. That's actually what the name literally means.
Sick, yeah.
It's a little bonkers. Yeah, I'm the voice of Fang in Final Fantasy 13, but if you're still playing a game that came out 7 or 8 years ago, I love you.
I was about to say that sounds like our audience on occasion. They find things they like and they stick with them.
Namazuo in Token Ranbu Hanamaru, and that's airing on Funimation.com, and I just turn up in random stuff. And if you have jobs for me, let me know as well. But they have to be legit.
Legit-ish.
Legit-ish.
Aren't you gonna tell
Yes.
people who you are?
I'm gonna go last because I have to sign us out.
Because he's the host.
My name is Erica Lindbeck. I'm a voice actress person, and I'm recently Persona 5's pretty popular. I voiced Futaba Sakura in Persona 5. I'm Talia and Zoe in League of Legends.
You have any internet stuff you want to?
Internet stuff?
Like, where can they find you on? Like,
Oh, you
I
can
mean,
find me
like,
on just Twitter.
Twitter
mostly.
it's been in the
I'm
chat.
at larynx_links on Twitter.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just Erica Lindbeck. Oh, I did some work on Monster Hunter World, which just came out, which is cool.
I've
So
lost
yeah,
a few friends to that.
you have. I know. It's sad. It's sad. But yeah. You can find me at Erica Lindbeck on Twitter.
Miss Ka.
Oh, I'm Danny Carr. You can find me at It's Danny Carr on Twitter. And on Geek and Sundry, you can find me on Good Fortnight Kevin on Alpha every fortnight. Well, every fortnight is 2 weeks.
I love that phrase. It's very British.
It's a good trailer.
It is. And you can also find me every Thursday recapping the latest episode of Critical Role on Critical Recap. I have to do it in 90 seconds, and it's very hard when I have to talk very fast. But yeah, so that's, and just around Geek and Sundry, I sometimes pop in and out or all random things. And if you have worked for me as a budding voice actress who also just moved here a year ago and is just working on my demo reel, let me know.
This is a nice
very
rainbow.
green.
And I'm Taliesin Jaffe. You can see me on the Wednesday
Hollywood
Club.
royalty.
Hollywood royalty. Defrocked. You can see me on Critical Role on Thursdays. You can see me on the Wednesday Club, and I look forward to having enough time in my life to actually do some work. 'Cause I live here now.
Just to
I
see
live
our
here. I have to bring my
friends.
friends here.
Me too.
Thank you guys so much. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for sticking with us this week. And it's late, and we're gonna send everybody home.
But first,
But
before we do that, we're actually going to send a raid over to Squarebowl, which is where Erika Ishii is right now. And friend of Game Engine, Anthony Carboni, who is also known for hosting something called Star Wars Show and Science of Star Wars. And they're going to be hanging out with a bunch of developer friends. It's a charity stream over on Twitch, and it's raising money for World Builders. So we're going to send everybody over there. Devin's going to get it all queued up. So go check it out, and they're doing that for 48 hours. So
Please give them some love from us.
Yes.
So I'll be checking in this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Sick.
And Devin, Devin.
Yep,
It's
any second
happening,
now. Any
it's
second
happening.
now. Nope. Look at our amazing technical.
We'll
Prowess.
eventually do it. Is that
Look
wait?
how shimmery my dress is.
Their dress is so
Look at all the
amazing.
shiny things.
I'm so glad that worked out well. Oh,
I believe
Oh.
that ends the stream.
oh, is that the end of the stream? Good night and good luck, people.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh, good night, everybody. Have fun.